names sitting right there, followed by Garrison Galloway, Jacob Watson, and then Dustin Jones. Now, Justin Jones is actually going to be our lead car as we go into Power Hour at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and we don't want to be missing that. That's going to be something very special.
Yeah, that's basically the heroes of the sport headed out, and I think, both myself and John were talking this morning about what kind of time we'd see. We kind of went back and forth on it. Definitely, we're going to see some sub 2 minute times during Power Hour. The question is, do they get down to 150 or 145? There's a lot of optional lines on this particular qualifying course, not just on that rock climb. There's also a couple drop-offs. I don't think we're going to see any of the UTVs take it, but I'll guarantee we'll see some of the big cars take it in 4,400 qualifying for sure.
Yeah, let's not forget that we've got some guys in here, that are capable of putting these vehicles into the top 10 in the main 4,400 race and have done so in the past. Names like Hunter Miller and Cody Miller, who we're going to see later today in Power Hour. Now, let's have a very, very quick look at who we've got racing here. But before we do that, we've got sitting on line there our first car about to go off today, who is Phil Umpire Pottas. And we've got Ben down in the pits having a good look as he's just about to leave the line. Ben, what you got for us?
Hey guys, I'm down in the pits with Tyler Emery. He's about to start. He's about fifth car back. But just what do you think of this qualifying course?
We went out and pre-ran the course last night. It's going to be pretty gnarly.
Very cool. Did you get a couple of laps in? I know you guys were limited in speed last night. You think about doing that big drop-off?
I don't know. I'm kind of going to go by the seat of my pants. Thought about it for sure. We'll see what happens.
Very cool. Well, no one's done it yet, but let's see what happens this afternoon. We've got some great qualifying action. Back to you guys in the booth.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben. Our favourite Antipodean down there, giving us all the action from the side of the pit lane. Now, I'm looking forward to this afternoon, Ian. It's good. I've got to say, I've got to do the corny bit. It's great to be back.
Well, it's good to have you. We missed you last year when you had to stay over the pond. It's good to have you back here in the booth with us here in Johnson Valley for the rest of the week. I'm excited as well. What I'm super excited about is we're going to see a bunch of stock UTVs and then slide right into Power Hour. We're going to see some monsters, so it'll be really interesting to see the difference. These cars are very different than a lot of the vehicles we watched first thing this morning. Smaller tire, basically production UTVs with just some minor changes made to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching some of the qualifying earlier on today, and the speed that these vehicles are actually hitting the ground is absolutely remarkable. It looks like that might actually be the 810 car of Garrett Toombs that's going to be leaving the line first.
Yeah, we had a few stragglers this morning who just didn't make it to the start of the race, and we weren't sure. And that they were kind of like dropped back in the mix here, showed up here, and I think they're going to be headed out there to do some qualifying. They just couldn't make it to their time frame early this morning. So we'll just have to try to keep ourselves honest here as we call these guys as they head out onto the course. But I think you are right, Jim. I think that's Garrett Toombs.
You're keeping busy. Yeah, dude, I've been, I went and did Legacy. I've been doing mountain biking. So busy. So I've been starting. Yeah, so I've been doing the winter series right now. I'm going back out.
All right, as we watch this car sitting on the start line for its qualifying of the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship presented by Progressive Insurance.
We're in the same boat, dude.
Once we get rolling, we will have cars going out in different blocks at 2, 3, and finally Power Hour.
Yeah, dude, sometimes that sun will do shit in the crust of the earth. Yeah. Dude, that was gnarly, dude. That was so gnarly.
Okay, so we're getting ready for the start now. We're going to be heading on down to Ben in a moment. So Ben, what do you got for us, my friend?
Yeah, g'day, it's Ben Napier on the start line. We're about to restart our Can-Am Hammers qualifying. Let's get ready to race. Come on, guys. Have a great time. Be safe, and let's see who's the fastest.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben. So there we go. We've got the 810 car there of Garrett Toombs just waiting to start. Just waiting for that green flag moment, and let's see what he can lay down for us on this world-famous Hammers short course. Here we go. We're off.
Now right away, Jim, you'll notice we're running the short course what I would call backwards this year. We haven't run this in this direction in a few years, and also it's super short and right into the desert right away.
Yeah, I'm loving this course. I was out there earlier today just walking around, and it's holding together really well. We were talking about it breaking down. The rocks are always going to be changeable, but the desert part is actually holding together better than I was expecting. But then these are small, lightweight vehicles. They don't dig the dirt quite as hard as those big 4400 cars that we'll be seeing later in the week.
No, but what you'll see right here is a wrong turn right out of the gate. We want to be down here at the bottom of your screen, which he's figured out now. There's 3 lines through this bottom section. We've noticed that one seems to be incredibly fast, really close to the side of the hill. We come up here, quick little left and right. We saw some confusion up here earlier. That's why they've put that Jeep up to block your entrance into that trail.
Absolutely. Now this is making his way up onto towards the edge of short bus, and he's just changing. Looks like he's changing from high box to low box. It's worth noting that most of these UTVs have the capability of being able to change from high to low. But you'll see the bigger guys a little bit later, particularly in power hour. They will just be running in high box.
We talked about that a little bit earlier with John as well. He mentioned that, you know, back when he was racing, they did that. He said, I would always stop, shift into low. But we did not see very many people do that this morning. In our modified UTVs, they went out and just hit this in high range the whole time.
Yeah, but we've also got to look at technology. UTVs are one of the fastest growing sports from a technology point of view, and the things that are happening, here we go. This is the rocks now. Which line's he going to take?
I'm going to bet he's going to huck a left.
He
I think
is
we'll see
indeed.
most of the stock UTVs stick to that left-hand side. You get a little bit off camber on this turn. It's starting to get a little bit rutted out, but it is the safer route up that hill.
It is indeed. It's that gamble. Do you gamble fast or do you gamble slow?
And that's one of the spots during qualifying where there's multiple options. There's also one in the beginning of this course with a huge drop-off. You heard Ben mention it when he was down talking in the pits. I don't think we'll see a UTV drop off it. We'll definitely see some of the bigger cars come qualifying day for the big race next Saturday drop off it. This section right here, if you have to be moving through here to pick up speed. This is where we saw a lot of our leaders get a lot of their extra speed was coming down that section.
Yeah, it's all about commitment. It's all about practicing. And there were still guys running this track at gone 9 o'clock last night, just making those last minute things, just seeing what the lines were. So it's a smooth run here from Garrett. He's not going to set the world alight, but he's doing it nice and safe.
One thing we should also mention, we've said it before, there are multiple classes racing here. What we're seeing right now in our next run of qualifiers are a lot of UTV stocks. So we have UTV modified, we have some open UTVs. We have a good mix of different vehicles, but they will leave the starting line mixed together as well on race day.
Yep, so it's all about your qualifying position. So it doesn't matter if you're on a stock UTV or if you're on a modified UTV. If you earn your right to be up the grid, that's where you will be starting. It's one of my favorite things about Hammers.
Like he made it through turn 19 clean, then he has to come to this big wide sweeper over Yukon launch, and then that will be the end of his qualifying run.
So it looks like Garrett's now going to be crossing the line. And next on the line should be the car 99, Philon Parpotis and Bowie. And it is indeed. Here we go. Now these guys have already had some bad luck this week. They actually went out on course to do the desert race in the limited class and blew a gearbox 300 meters from the start. So they had to drive over to Phoenix to pick up a new gearbox, drive back, get it refitted into the vehicle so they can be out on course today. So it's so good to see. Philon's been racing in Europe now for, must be getting on 20 years. He's got a huge fan base back home. Hi to everyone. I know there'll be people staying up late to watch this. Now, a lot of people are saying, does he ship that car all the way? No, he does not. This is a car he actually bought in America. It's been prepared in America. He keeps it over here just for this race.
Well,
just so he can be part of it.
UTVs are small enough, some of them would qualify as carry-on luggage, depending on your airline. But good to see him over here racing.
Absolutely.
He's making very quick work of that first section. This is where we saw a little bit of action earlier. There is a large drop-off on the right-hand side of that trail. We did see take a tie rod out earlier in one of the UTVs that was on it, but he seems to have come through it very clean.
Now it's going to be interesting to see what he does on the rocks. I was chatting to Bowie earlier, and he was saying they tried to do the centre line and they were struggling with it. So I've got a feeling, let's see what he does here. Yeah, he's going to take that softer left line.
Yeah, you can see how loose it is, though. It's very loose in there. And this turn is tough. You can't tell it from the camera, but that's a very off-camber turn as well. And the more it gets dug out, the more you're going to see those UTVs start leaning to the left. We saw a couple two-wheel Tuesdays up there earlier today.
Yep. Now you'll see those stripes on the door there. That's actually the Dutch flag, for those who don't know. So Bowie's representing Holland here. And Philon's raced all around the world. He's raced down in South Africa. He's raced extensively across Europe, in pretty much every country you can think of. So it's great to see him back out here in the desert. You see the Union flag there on the left-hand side. That's the UK flag, showing us a multinational attack as he makes his way around the bottom of King Hill.
Up through the Bronco Arch. He'll drop down. There's 3 different lines here as well. We've seen a couple people get caught up. There's a big rock in the middle in that middle line. Saw it taking a couple tires earlier.
I think he needs to get those rear shocks serviced. They're all over the place. But he's keeping it nice and tidy here. Now, the one thing, Ian, if you ever meet Philon at one of these races, go to his pit, because he does the best barbecues in the world ever. That is just a fact.
Coming from the southern United States, I'll call shenanigans on that right now. The best barbecue is either from Texas or Tennessee. There we go. Look at that.
Big air there, and a nice
right
clean run there from Philon and Bowie. So great work there, guys.
Looks like Philon came in at 3:02. That puts him at 36th position. 110 UTVs qualifying today.
That's a whole load of cars.
All right, then it's car 071. Unfortunately, I do not have him on our list, so we're not 100% certain who the driver is.
We're going to take a guess and say it's Richard Baird, but we're really not
Richard
sure.
Baird is what the clock is telling us who it is. So we're gonna, yep, I'm getting a thumbs up from the crowd here in Hammertown. So, yep, that's Richard Baird. There we go. Thumbs up.
Please feel free to come up to the booth if you've got any information for us. Anything you got's always a help.
Glad we have this clock back. What we were doing this morning, myself and John, we kind of put our own little virtual checkpoints in here on the track, so we can sort of guess where they're going to finish based on where they are. He's making very quick work of this section.
Yeah, he's looking good through there. That was a wonderful angle. You could really see the camber and the off-camber nature of this course.
Yeah, it's a hard course. I like it that there's a lot of rocks on this qualifying course, because the race is going to have a lot of rocks, and I think this is a good basically comparison as to what we're going to do. Now let's see what he does here. Oh, he takes that hard left side.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot of that with these stock UTVs this afternoon. But he's not hanging around. I mean, there's a whole load of commitment going into that hill climb.
It's true. He can make up a lot of time on this downhill section, but it is hard. There's some big drop-offs in there. Yeah, to end up in our top 20, you want to be at the 1:30 mark right after you make the turn in the desert. So he's good pace for a stock UTV. He's off pace for our leaders. But we see our top 10, 15 guys right at this jump, right there. That would be 1:30. So he's about 20 seconds off the guys, off the teams that are basically putting down the fast times.
It's interesting watching them making their way around to the Bronco Arch. That course is not cut up badly yet. I think we're going to see some very fast times later this afternoon.
I think the key here is the time seems to be made up in 3 places. First, this corner is hard. We've seen so many guys get so close to rolling the car on that corner. Saw one rollover. So we see a lot of people checking up in that corner. We're calling that turn 19 because Herbst rolled it 19.
I was going to say, isn't that the Herbst corner?
Yeah,
I believe.
He was number 19, rolled it 2 times yesterday. That's why we called it that. And Richard Baird is coming in now for the Yukon launch, and that will end his qualifying. Respectable time. He's going to come in right at that mid-230s.
Yeah, we're liking that.
Now 19th, top 20.
Just give that some kind of perspective. We are expecting, as we're just looking at the 222 car there, Trey McKinley. Now, this could be interesting. This boy has a bit of pace, so let's see what he can do out here. So we're just in a 235. I reckon this guy here could take us down a little bit.
Yeah, so the sections that we see time being picked up on, first that turn 19 corner, right here in this desert section, there's 3 lines through this section. It seems that this closer line to the bottom of your screen, the one that Trey's on right now, appears to be just a little bit faster than the other lines. You can see the other lines are a little bit stretched out. It seems like you cut that corner just a little bit, you get a good amount of speed there. And then you call it the 3-option rock line.
Yeah. Now, it's worth remembering with these vehicles, they don't have the uber aggressive acceleration of the bigger cars. So they need a bit of carry speed in and out of these corners. And that really does make this a driver's class.
I agree. And I also think what would be interesting is, you know, a lot of these cars, we got basically belts or CVT type transmissions. And then we have a few other cars out there have an actual selectable transaxle. So it'd be interesting to see if that makes a difference with being able to pick your gear when you come out of a corner versus relying on that constant velocity or CVT transmission to come around. John had suggested, he was guessing that some of the guys, especially some of our big guys in Power Hour, may actually step down a tire size to qualify.
Now, that would be very interesting. That would be shrewd thinking as well, because those 35-inch tires, they absolutely drag the power out of these little engines.
Yeah, and John, you know, he made a good point. He's spent lots of time in UTVs here in the Hammers. He said this qualifying course, you don't need a 35-inch tall tire. Maybe go down to a 33 or a 32, pick up a little bit of speed, shed some weight. Yep. It could mean a night and day difference.
It can indeed. Let's not forget, these vehicles are barely weighing a metric ton. So any weight that you can get off them makes a big difference to the acceleration.
That's right around 2,000 pounds for everybody on this side of the country.
You have to remember it's a big world out there, Ian.
Is that like a metric beer? Because that's, you know, that's how I'll take a metric beer.
We still do beer in pints. How does that work? Okay, as he's coming on, Trey's now coming on down through the Bronco arch. Looking good. Respectable time here from Trey. Just making his way around that final Talladega bend.
So, Jim, the question of the day would be, just so we can get everyone sort of schooled up on, because we're going to run across all week, like, how many kilometers are there in a mile?
Too many. About 1.3. In fact, one of my favorite. Right, we're just watching Trey McKinley there. He's just finishing. Nice, clean run there. 2:37.
Puts him in 21st. And for everyone who's watching at home, first of all, I assume you're watching this live stream. That's amazing. That's what you should be watching. Secondly, you should probably subscribe to the premium package, because that way you're not going to have any break from the action. But if you want to pay attention to the actual timing of this qualifying round, you should go to live.ultra4racing.com/live/scoring. So many lives. It's double live. If you look at that, that'll basically give you everyone's running time as they finish this qualifying course. Right now, Paul Wolf is still our #1 qualifier at a 2:18. But right now, we're watching Andrew come through the desert. Incredibly fast pace for a stock UTV.
So Andrew Stratman here, making nice work of this course.
Yeah, he's moving at a very good pace for a stock class UTV in this part of the course. Through the big rocky sections, he's down at the bottom, going to make the turn, and then he has the choice.
Now you see here, pre-running is everything here. Just making a couple of little slow turns.
Yeah,
he's got himself really wired up here.
He is completely off course, unfortunately, but he's in the rocks. You know, the rule, as Dave Cole always says, if you don't know where the race course is, go into the rocks. That's where it is. So he did his job. He was into the rocks. That was actually a very interesting line there. He made quick work of that.
To be fair, considering it wasn't supposed to be there, he drove that incredibly well.
He did that very well, yes. Yep, he just missed that one turn. And as we said before, this is a section where we see people making up a lot of time, that qualifying, those drops, a lot of commitment to come down into that. But he did shed some time by missing that line. He's about 30 seconds off lead race pace.
And Andrew's just making his way around towards the Bronco arch now. Choice of 3 lines. And who knows where he's going to go. He's tried every other line so far, and he has this time as well, taking the far left one this time.
Just doing some comprehensive tire testing.
He is indeed. He's checking those lines out for his friends at home.
All right, he's going to come around the big, long sweeper, and then he'll be over the Yukon launch, and that will end his qualifying time. Here for the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship, presented by Progressive Insurance.
And over that final jump, he takes the checkered flag with a 248, or
249.1, 32nd position.
Then that should be the 49.49 car.
No, that's 1848 Joshua Smith, I believe.
It looks like it might. Yeah, it is the 1948 Joshua Smith.
Yeah, we've had a few shakeups in our qualifying order, so we're just trying our best here to pay attention to what's going on. But this is Joshua Smith coming out right now. He's leaving Hammertown, heading into the desert. Looks like he's going to take that inside, faster desert line like we've been watching a few people do. As they come through here, pick up a lot of speed through that desert section. As we said before, there's 3 different lines through there.
He's got a really nice pace here as he just cuts around the bottom of short bus there.
This is a very fast pace. He's at 40 seconds right at that turn. He's doing very well.
Nice turn in through the bottom. What you can't see there from the video is how big that drop off is. That is a large drop as you come on down that turn.
It is a huge drop, and these guys are also hitting these. This is a completely different course than what they pre-ran last night, or even if you watched the race this morning. These rocks are being moved around. It looks like he's hitting the rock line.
Yeah, we got commitment here. This is taking the tougher, harder right line, and he's making that look
easily
very
done.
good.
Yeah, excellent. This is a very good pace.
Now, let's not forget, this is a stock UTV. This is incredibly good.
Now, the difference between the stock and the modified UTVs, it's not a huge difference.
No, it's not.
It's not, but the tire size difference, and there are some other subtle differences, plastics and suspension pickup points and things like that. But for him to come over that jump right there at 130, that puts him right on the same pace as our current leader, Paul Wolf. So he is, if he runs the rest of this course clean, we could be looking at top 10 for sure.
Absolutely.
Possibly top
right,
5.
now it looks like he's taking that left hand, but no, he's off down the right hand side. You can see that big rock there in the center of the course, but this is a really good looking run.
Oh, so we've been asking for social media questions all day today, and we have one come in. People want to know total number of UTVs to roll on turn 19. So far, we've had one almost. Look at that. That could be. This
quick.
is really close. Let's give us a second here. 221 third.
Wow,
that
was a
stock
great run.
UTV coming into 3rd position today. That's a story right there.
That is a story indeed. We like to see. That's why we come to Hammers. We love stories like this.
That and the Dang Bros Pizza.
I haven't tried one of those yet. I'm down for that for tomorrow. As we've got, it looks like 143. This is Tyler Remereed on course now.
Now we're looking at these times, and we are commenting on these quick times. That 218 that Paul Wolf had, 219 Michael Park, Joshua Smith just laying down that 221. These times, the sad thing is when we get through Power Hour, these guys are going to be down in that 15 to 20 range. I'll guarantee it.
Possibly, yeah.
But back to our question. How many UTVs are going to roll on turn 19 was the social media poll. My guess is 5.
Really? No,
Yeah.
you're going high. See, I'm going to say
high.
3.
You're gonna
Because
say 3.
everybody's watching this already, and they're already saying, I don't want to be a Herbst. Now, there's not many people that say that, in fairness.
That is true. But I think when it comes to Power Hour, we have a lot of people in this race in Power Hour who, yes, they race the UTVs, but that's not their, quote, bread and butter. Their bread and butter comes later in the week. They're doing this to pre-run. They're doing this to have fun. So they might just be hanging it out there in qualifying, put them in a bad position in that turn 19. So I'm going to go with 5. So we're down. 1's done. I'm going to call it 4
I think we've got
more.
2 to go. Now, Tyler's taken that slower left-hand line. You can see the seconds literally bleeding away as you make your way around there. It is easier, but it's a lot slower. So you really have to play that game. Are you going to throw it all at that other one, or are you going to take that slower line?
And we threw a stopwatch on it this morning, both myself and John, and we saw a 2 to 3 second difference depending on the vehicle between taking the rock line, that center line, or that swooping around far line. So, and 2 to 3 seconds is a big deal.
That is a big deal. That's nearly long enough to have a cup of tea, Ian.
Or a cup of coffee.
Who?
All right, he's coming through the Bronco Arch right now. Tyler's coming back into Hammertown.
Looking smooth. Now, this is turn 19. Watch them coming in here, because they're usually checking hard on that offside front, or near side front as you'd call it over here, but they're not. That turn has completely changed. They're really able to get in there and actually smooth it out. Completely different to how it was yesterday for the trophy trucks.
I certainly don't think we're going to see a lot of the stock UTVs roll over on that turn because of the fact that they're not hitting that berm really high. But when we get into the open UTV and some of our power hour guys, they're going to go in there, quote, guns blazing, hang that rear end out, and when that rear steps out in that corner, it's all over.
So this is Aaron Clark now sitting on the line, just about to leave. Here he goes. This is Aaron Clark. Let's see what he's got for us.
So we have another social question coming in, and it was how far off the line they can go without penalty. Well, it's different on race day versus qualifying. I think it might be 50 feet offline, but that's really going to be off center, and that's really going to be a judgment call. I think they're going to want to stay pretty close to the actual burned-in qualifying line.
If there are marker points, like you see these marker points here, they have to go between them. However, if they do miss a marker point, so long as there is no advantage gained, and we're not talking about a top space, they're not going to get penalised. However, if they do miss a marker and they're clearly getting making a large time gain, then it will go over to the steward's office. They'll look at it and they'll review each case in turn.
Yeah,
but basically 50 feet from center line.
Well, it's 150 on race day.
Yes.
So we're assuming that qualifying it's a little bit narrower. 150 on race day, but there are some VCPs put in place, even in some of the rock trails this year. Dave was talking about that during the drivers' meeting, as well as talking about that during his live stream. Here we have another. This is I think at this point we had more stock UTVs hit the rocks than we had the modified UTVs.
Yep. And it's hard to believe how steep this is.
Oh, look at that. That's it.
Come on.
He's doing it right. He's just going to stay in it. He wants to keep it going. He stopped at a good spot, though. That's not bad. At least he's got some door stops behind the rear wheels there. If he can get moving again.
It looks like he's got a flat on that.
It does. That left rear looks like it's not too happy, correct?
Yeah, I think that might be the end of Aaron's run here, unless he can get a lucky hole shot up there.
Oh, that left rear does not look good.
No. Can't
point,
overestimate how steep this actually is there. So to actually only have 3 wheels actually with tyres on makes it very difficult indeed.
And the only way at this point to get up that is to just pin it to win it and hope the rev limiter keeps all the insides on the inside of the motor. Oh, looks like we got our recovery crew coming down with a winch.
Okay, while we're watching this recovery here, we've got Ben down in the pits who's got some news for us. Ben, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. Great action here. Bit of a tough break there. Down in the pits, I've got Philin Parpodis all the way from England. How was your qualifying run?
Could have been better. We missed a couple of lines that we should have took, but we didn't pre-run it either, so we were too busy fixing the car. So we didn't do a pre-run, so yeah, we just sort of guessed our way. We watched a few people qualifying this morning, and we thought, right, that's what we're going to do. You know?
Awesome. And safe and steady, good starting position. You know, you're not right at the back, you're in the middle. You know, that's great for Thursday for your race. What have you got to get done between now and then?
We need to get our power steering working. We haven't got power steering.
Yeah, that would have made it hard. Lots of sharp turns up there. But otherwise, you guys are good. Obviously, all the way from England, you know, you're working out here remotely. How's everything been? Is this mind-blowing being here?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, you know, I came in 2020 before COVID to do the race, and I ended up ill in hospital the day before the race. Well, on qualifying day for 5 days with pneumonia, but. So I never got to do it.
Well, I hope you stay well this week, and best of luck. Rooting for you. Really happy to see some overseas guys coming across again, and back to you, the guys in the booth. Thank you.
Cheers, Ben. Thank you very much. Always get good inside line. We're just watching Aaron here. He's being recovered. He's not got one. He's got 2 flat tires.
Well, and I also...
That's just greedy.
Yeah, and if you also look, that left front tire is not pulling in any way. So I don't know if you know this, but all the UTVs, there's a certain number of magical snaps and pops that the front diff makes. So once you cross that number, it's all over at that point. I think he went over the magical number of snaps and pops inside that front diff. So it definitely looks like, hopefully, it's an axle, not a differential.
Well, let's be honest though, they are well known for having differential issues on the front end, particularly when you're pushing them this hard. And we saw Aaron absolutely sending it to the wall earlier. Now,
Yeah, you can see the recovery crew out there. Once again, we talked about this before, all volunteers out here.
Yeah, so while we're waiting for Aaron here to just be removed from course, we've just got to fly to a quick commercial break, pay some bills, and we'll be back here live with more qualifying very soon.
Putting on the work, but they don't give me no recognition. Basically, the league's MVP, but the P is missing. I'm the most valuable, but sometimes they tend to forget. You gotta feel the fire.
Conquer the elements, handle the most extreme environments, and dominate the desert and trails with King's new 2021 Ford Bronco 2.5 OEM Performance Upgrade Kit. All kits are 100% designed, manufactured, and assembled in our Southern California facility. See why we're the first choice for experienced off-road racers worldwide and order your Bronco kit today.
Absolutely mind-blowingly good rider.
For gold medalist in Moto X Freestyle, Taka Higashida!
This sport changed my life, like everything.
I'm very lucky to have like a husband that is happy doing what he loves.
When I look back at riding freestyle and look at like some of the baddest dudes in the world, Taka's right there on the top.
If without freestyle motocross, I don't have a hope for my life.
Let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian. Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Single-digit temperatures. A couple of inches of snow on the ground already. And more predicted as the day goes on. In other words, conditions are perfect for the all-new Bronco Sport.
And welcome back to Johnson Valley, California. We are here for the 2022 UTV King of the Hammers, and we are live here in qualifying. I'm Jim Marsden. In the booth next to me is Ian Johnson. Ian, what are we watching?
Well, right now we're watching Robert Moen as he's out in his stock UTV qualifying on this course. For those of you who had the premium package, you got to see him leave the line because your commercials were picture-in-picture, but for those of you who did not, you missed it out. But he's out here on the course now. He's making some good time. Basically, we've had a good mix today of modified UTVs and our stock UTVs. Haven't seen any open UTVs yet. I think those are just reserved just for Power Hour.
Yeah, he's making a nice moderate pace down here. And a moment ago, we just saw Aaron Clark, who was throwing down an incredibly good time, and then 2 flats finished his run.
This is the section that we've been watching all day. There's 3 different lines here, and it looks like, oh, there we go. That's a little scary, yep, but that's what we were talking about the whole time. That line looks easier, but it's a lot of off-camber, tight turns to get into it.
Yeah, and you can just see how hard these little cars are fighting to make their way up to the top of this hill. And it's a roll of the dice, whether you take that left line or whether you gamble on those big rocks up the center. Robert here keeping it nice and smooth. 4 wheels on the deck as he makes his way around towards the Bronco Arch.
Good speed for a stock UTV. He's doing well. He's kept the car together. Like you said, kept it on all 4 tires, kept the rubber side down, which is important.
It always helps, I find.
Yes, definitely a little bit off race pace, but he's doing well.
You have to make that decision when you're doing this. Are you coming to this race to take on the experience, or are you coming this race to be a contender?
Well, I think in this class, especially UTV, it's such a mix. You know, you've got, it's such a great entry-level class to come in and try racing. It's literally finance a car and bring it out here to Johnson Valley and do your racing. And then you've got heavy hitters in the sport who do this for a living.
Absolutely.
You know, UTV racers. And then you got 4,400 guys coming down using it almost like a pre-run. So it is a huge mix of drivers. But as we talked about this morning, we said that this year qualifying is so important.
So we see Moen there crossing the line, and around about a 250, and next off the line.
This is Kenneth Goodall off the line right here.
It is.
Should expect a fast pace from him.
We are expecting a fast pace. Now these guys are going to be probably racing in EMC and also in the 4400 class later this week. It's a full family affair for these people. But it's interesting what you were saying about using it for pre-running. Now, in previous years, it always used to be the 4400 class guys would use the EMC for their pre-running. But that's changing now because they're moving the EMC back to where it used to be all those years ago, which is the day before the 4400 class race. And that plays into fatigue and all sorts of other things. And we're watching Kenneth here. This is good pace we're seeing here.
He's doing very, very well. But it's interesting you mentioned that. We'll probably talk about this more later in the week. But you do know that Randy's in the EMC race this year.
Ah, now that's going to be interesting
last year's
to
king.
see.
So, yes, he decided that he was going to come out in a Legends car and have some fun. All right, so Kenneth takes that far left line.
But look at the pace.
Good pace, but there's 2-3 seconds in there every time you go up that way.
Keeping it nice and smooth, tidy where he needs to be. But you were talking about this section earlier. You can make a lot of pace up just down through here with just commitment.
Our current leader, Paul Wolf, in that section was coming down that downhill section pretty much wide open. It was just jumping from ledge to ledge to ledge the whole way down because he also made some tactical errors. He tried to go up short bus, stopped, backed up, turned around, and then went out and almost rolled it on turn 19. So, and then still put in the fast lap time. So he had to fully commit to that section and come through it with incredibly fast pace. That is Jeff Martin off the line, car 4979.
It looks like he's hauling here. This looks like a nice pace here from Jeff as he makes his way out onto that course. Takes that centre line this time. We were talking about it earlier. There's 3 different lines there that converge back round onto the far side. As they make their way out towards the bottom of short bus.
Yeah, this is a tricky section. It's a hard left and a hard right. We saw a couple people misjudge that corner earlier and center punch that rock. One danger zone. This drop off is another one. It's a lot steeper than it looks.
Okay, which rock line's he going to take on this? I've got a feeling he's going to take on the big line. He's just got that look about him.
I would like to see him take on the big line. We've seen more stock UTVs take on the rock line than the modified UTVs. So we'll see what happens here. No.
Nope.
Hard
He's taking that left line.
But good pace through there.
Solid pace here. We'll say it again, these are stock UTVs, so they're allowed minor upgrades over the UTVs that you can buy straight off the dealership.
Yeah,
but it's pretty much the same package you can just go and buy off the street.
Yeah, it's pretty much what you'll see with a lot of these stock UTVs. It's still all factory suspension pickup points, factory shock locations. A lot of the factory plastic must be retained. You can't change the chassis out, add a cage, add some safety items. Can't change the shocks, obviously, do some suspension tuning. But pretty much 85% of that UTV is what you can go and pick up at your local Can-Am dealer, have a little bit of fun. Through the big sweeper, it's a pretty good pace. He may end up top 10 by the time he goes over that Yukon launch, maybe at least top 15.
Okay, we've got number 26 off the line now. That's Cameron Martin. Making his way out into the desert.
Relatively uneventful qualifying so far this afternoon. We started with the stock guys. Had a couple flats, couple breaks, but no real action.
I was going to say, I think Aaron Clark would probably argue that with you.
Well, yeah, he had some issues, but not. We saw more action this morning. We saw more broken parts, and we saw a few rollovers. And so far the stock UTVs have been keeping it very tidy out there on the qualifying course. Couple big drop-offs in there. You can really see it from that camera angle how big those drop-offs are. Really good pace right here. Let's see if he goes into that dirt line or hits up that far right rock line, which it looks like he is.
Oh, he's taking the far
Good
rocks.
choice.
Here we go. Oh no, it looks like that.
Front is not pulling.
It's not pulling.
That left front is not pulling at all.
Oh, what a shame there.
He is going to back down and probably head to the dirt. Hopefully he realizes that the left front's not pulling. I hope it's not both front aren't pulling.
Yeah, I got a feeling that might be a diff.
He might head over to... Yeah, he's side hilling, trying to get over to that dirt climb. That dirt climb is also going to be a little bit... No, it looks like the right front is pulling. So the right front's pulling. It looks like he may have either broken axle on that left front. He had a great time too, tackled those rocks. Just shows you how aggressive that transition from the dirt to that rock section is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, while we're watching this, I'm going to make my way down to the start-finish line and see if I can find some stories down there. So I'll catch up with you in a little bit, Ian.
It sounds good, Jim. It'll be good to have you back in the booth. I believe Scott Rain's going to come in here and join me to call a little bit more of this qualifying.
Thanks a lot, Jim. It's nice seeing him again. And Ian, thank you. So kind of keep the rotation going so everybody in here keeps fresh and excited and Keeps the flow going.
As long as I get my coffee and my coffee crisp, life will be good. That's all that matters to me as we're watching. Here we go, coming into turn 19.
No, it's just the car that was turn 19. I like this.
That's Cameron Martin. He was out. He tried the rock ledge. Unfortunately, it looks like he broke something in the left front.
All right,
I'm assuming it's probably a CV or an axle. One of the weak links in the front of those. As we watch him come in, that is Cody Wonborg leaving the line.
So it looks like we're just a little bit out of order as the cars are coming up towards staging.
We have a few stragglers that didn't make it, or a couple that didn't make it this morning who are now coming in, but we're basically leaving as they're coming up. We're calling them off. We're trying to stay honest here. We have a good starting order, and we're just kind of dancing around a little bit. A lot of these guys were out pre-running this qualifying course last night, and I think when this morning came around, some of their vehicles were not put back together.
Yeah, I've noticed. Been watching you guys cover this, and from this point on, this appears to be where it gets really, really challenging, tricky, and a last-minute decision.
It's a lot. There's a lot of options, which I'm super excited about. There's even alternate lines, and this is the same qualifying course that we'll see everybody running in. And if you look to the left of your screen, that's the big drop. That's an optional line off instead of driving down that dirt section. I think we'll see some 4400 cars come off that during their qualifying later in the week. It's a little aggressive for a UTV. This is where we see a lot of decisions being made on the UTVs, where they go hard left, or this is the line that we've seen people take that's been very, very fast. It's kind of right in the middle. It is steep, but if you get it, you save so much time. Excellent job. Excellent job. This is a very, very fast pace for a stock UTV.
Now, it appears that's about, what, a second and a half to 2.5 seconds faster if you do that correctly, like we just saw, as compared to taking that left line.
Yeah, John and I were timing them this morning, and it looks like the rock ledge is actually not the fast ledge. The line that we just saw get taken is by Cody is actually the faster line. As you can see, it's a little bit scarier. You have to commit. It doesn't look it on camera, but it's incredibly steep. He is about 10 seconds off the pace from our current pole sitter, Paul Wolf, which says a lot considering this is a stock UTV up against a Pro Mod UTV.
Whoa, with an inch of that huge boulder just past the Bronco arch.
Yeah, he's coming in really fast right here into our turn 19. You can see it's a little sketchy. I think the stock UTVs also have a little bit of a benefit on that turn. They can come in pretty hot. They're not sort of hanging out as far as everyone else is. That's Matthew Walraven leaving the line out of Hammertown. All right, we've been asking you guys for questions all day. Throw them out on social. We answer if we can. So we got some coming in. Scott, let's see what we got. We got a couple questions about tires, apparently.
Boy, that's going to be a loaded question right there. Has to be.
Oh, what's the average tire size and what's the air pressure? Well, actually, that's going to depend on the class. So your Pro Mod, modified UTVs, and open UTVs can go up to a 35-inch tall tire. The stock UTVs are limited to, I believe, a 33-inch tall tire. Air pressure, that's one of those things that we always speculate. Some people, this is the fast line right here. We always speculate what air pressure people are running, but I think over the years, it's kind of the secret's gotten out. It's somewhere between 18 to 24 PSI.
Oh, it is that much?
Yes.
Wow. And that's all. And if you were over by the Vision Wheel guys, they've got a brand new wheel with an extra, I don't know what to call it, a lip on the inside of the wheel where you don't have to run bead locks.
Well, Scott, that's probably one of the Method Race wheels, one of the sponsors here out in King of the Hammers. And they have a wheel that is a bead lock, but also includes a new internal inner bead lock grip ring on it. We did have a question from social about what kind of speeds these guys were running, and once again, that's going to be different for every UTV, whether it's a modified, open. Also, depending on what driver. This turn right here, stock UTV, I'm going to gamble 20. What do you think, Scott? How fast are we going through that corner?
Yeah, I think you're right about there. The 20, between 20 and 25, maybe 23.
I think that's what we're seeing on the stocks for sure. Modifieds are a little bit faster, obviously, and then when we get into Power Hour, when we see some of the open UTVs, we're going to see a lot faster. So that ends Matthew Walravens. He comes over that Yukon launch. 236, 22nd position. That's very good, very respectable for stock UTV. And David Vidaro is out there right now. He's headed out in the desert. Somewhere 499.
It's kind of crazy how we talk about Power Hour, and it was always geared toward the 4400 class, and the excitement built up like that. Have you noticed within the last year or so, and this year in particular, how that same excitement is carried over into this class and the Power Hour situation?
Yeah, and it's not just this class. I think it's all the classes. I think
Well, did he just break something on the left? No.
No, I think he's just making that suspension do its work. I think as we see more and more staples in this sport every year, returning drivers who keep coming back, racing time and time and time again, that's how we develop those heroes in the sport for each class. You know, I think we've got a lot of names that have been racing in these classes for a long time, and that's what basically creates our Power Hour. And so now that we've had the UTVs out here for quite a few years, become an incredibly popular class, I think now we're seeing that sort of excitement about Power Hour. And especially since when we're going to see names like Shannon Campbell, Hunter Miller, Cody Miller. I mean, those were the guys who raced last year and then went out and raced at 4,400 in their UTVs.
So if you notice, David took a different line, that far left line.
Far left line, that's the safest line we've seen so far. It gets a little sketchy. There's a little bit of off-camber movement in there, but it is the slower line, but we're calling it the safer line. David blew that corner just a little bit, went a little bit wide on it. This track is pretty burned in for this particular section of the desert, which is good for a little bit of high-speed action.
I'll tell you, the drone pilots have been dead spot on so far this week. It's just, they've amped up their efforts as well as the racers and Dave Cole with the staff and everything they're doing around here. Those drone pilots are absolutely phenomenal out here this week. Now, have you explained why we call this turn 19?
Many times, yes. Everyone knows that the Herbst T1 truck rolled on that turn 2 times, 2 different drivers. That's Brian Tilton off the line, car number 916.
.307.2.
That's 50th, right middle of the pack, but I think that's going to be pushed down pretty far as the day goes on. This is the desert section we've been watching. You come up here to the bottom of Short Bus, it's a left and a right. Very, very tricky corner because there's that big rock that's been throwing people offline and into those rocks. Seen a couple guys get a little excited in there, center punch that rock. All right, Jim is down at the start-finish line. Got some. He jumped out of the booth to go find some stories. Let's see what he found.
Okay, I'm down here right now on the finish line. And we're talking about people coming from overseas, and I've got someone who's travelled all the way from France to be with us here this week, racing in an UTV. It's a 4400 star from Europe. It's Nicholas Montador. Nicholas, how you doing?
Well, that's great. We are so happy to come there. And usually we're racing the 4400, but just for fun it will be UTV this time. But it's so great already, and we are so happy to be there, just to be there and participate to this amazing event.
It's fantastic to see you here. Now, you're co-driving. This isn't something you normally do. So let's have a quick chat to your driver and see how he is. How you doing?
Good now. Good so far. Usually he's driving, and this time it's my turn.
Absolutely. So how did you find things out on course today?
It looks easy from here, but it's not when you're there.
Yeah, some of those rocks look really nasty. Now, did you take the bypass line or did you take that harder right line?
The bypass. We want to race Thursday.
Fantastic. So, what are your hopes and dreams for Thursday? Are you here to be a contender or are you here just to enjoy yourselves?
Enjoy and finish.
Fantastic. Well, guys, it's fantastic to see you representing France out here. Thank you. Have a great race Thursday, and let's go back to the booth. See you later, guys.
Thanks, Jim. Could you do me a quick favor and see if they have any baguettes in that car? I could go for one of those right now, and if they do, say merci beaucoup, mon ami. Huh? All right, always good to see people from all. Leave it to Jim to find the people from Europe. He's got to have like a radar for that. He just like scopes them out. All right, well, now that we're back from Jim.
241 flat. Currently 31st for Brian Tilton. Not a bad run for him. 31st for Brian Tilton. Yeah. No.
All right, as we're watching Kyle head up that fast line, that is the fastest line up we've seen everyone hit, and he nailed that. This is a very good pace. If he picks up a lot of speed on this downhill section, which we've seen people do, our race leader, current pole sitter, made quick work of this downhill section, and it looks like he's doing the same. Oh, little bit offline, but he just stays in it. Good job. I think he was blinded by the drone there. Comes around. He is about 8 seconds off our current pole sitter right now. I take it back, 12 seconds off. So he can make up a little bit of time through the Bronco Arch and a little bit of time in the short course, but it's tricky. Wow. That actually cost him a little bit of time right there. You make up time in that Bronco Arch by that center line, and we've seen them wide open. And here we are into turn 19. All right, and as Kyle finishes this, we're going to throw to Jim down in the pits. I'm going to step out. Mrs. Pam Hall's going to come in, take over for me, and then we'll be talking to you some more later. Jim, take it away.
Hi, here we are. We're down in the pits now, and I'm joined by the man, the legend himself. There's Shannon Campbell. Shannon, how you doing?
I'm good. I don't know who you've been talking to about legend, but yeah, whatever.
Now, mate, I was down in your pit yesterday, and there were spanners flying all over the place as you're working on your vehicle. What's happening? You ready for this afternoon?
I think I am. I was scrambling yesterday. We had things going on that I didn't know about, and I was just trying to get it done, and lots of people helping. You know how it is.
Oh, I do indeed. It was great to see. Now, we've just seen that 4910 car. He's just absolutely nailed it across the line there. Looked really, really fast. Have you got any plan for this afternoon?
Try not to wreck it.
Try not to wreck it. Now, the UTV race is getting tougher and tougher each year. Every time we see people, real specialists like Cody Miller, Hunter Miller coming here, and they're really laying down the pace. Do you find it difficult to stay with that pace, or is it going to be a case of, no, I'm Shannon Campbell, and I'm just going to put it all out there?
Yeah, I'm going to use your line. I'm going to put it in D for do it. And, yeah, them guys are fast. I hope I can give them some run in the race, you know. They're very fast. So, yeah, I'm not going to try to say I could kick their ass or nothing, but you know how it is.
I do indeed. Now, we've got a little surprise this year, of course. We're going to be doing that whole race, then coming back here and racing again once we finish. How do you feel about that?
I haven't heard. I heard something, but I didn't know what it was.
Oh, have I just ruined a surprise? Yeah, you might be finding out some good news in a bit.
Well, I hope it's still. If it runs when I get back, I'll do something. Yeah, whatever.
Fantastic stuff. Well, Shannon, we look forward to seeing you later this afternoon. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Good to see you.
Cheers, guys. Back out to you in the booth. That was Shannon Campbell.
Thanks a lot, Jim, and I want to welcome to the booth for the first time this weekend, Pam. Man, you got the most beautiful smile. You've been running around saying hi to everybody, getting side stories, and one of your favorite drivers is out on course. I mean, you got a loaded day going on.
It has been a very busy day. It's been a very busy 3 weeks here, helping build Hammertown as well as up here announcing, doing the awards. But Mr. Jamie McCoy is next off the line, and he is in one of the, there he goes, you can hear him going off right now, in a Can-Am. He is one of my picks, but we all have those picks, correct?
Yeah, in fact, Matt Mangan's on course right now, about ready to cross the start-finish line off the tabletop jump. We'll see what he pulls off as far as, let's see, 2:37, currently 26 quick, 2:37.59, and now we got your man out there on course.
Yes, we do. And right now, as it sits, we still have Paul Wolf on that pole position.
Yeah, he's pretty much got the field covered at the moment, so a lot of cars to go yet. My gosh. To say nothing of power hour starting right around 4 o'clock or so.
Right. This has been a very difficult section this morning. I know they had to go out there and block it off, and it's been getting a lot of people. And Mr. Jamie McCoy, he is out there right now. This is a brand new race car for him. He just had it built. He's really super excited about it. Had a chat with him in the pits the other day. It is looking
yeah, it's a
really
nice looking
good.
car.
I've actually pre-ran a course with him before. That man does not
Wow.
slow down.
The speed that he had on that section looked like it went right down the middle.
So there is a question coming through, why would somebody run a co-driver in short course qualifying? Some people run the co-driver because they need that weight distribution. Their shocks are already set up a certain way. Some do want somebody in there telling them how, where the turns are, watching their GPS. Some people do not have that co-driver in there because they don't want the weight in there. And Mr. McCoy is actually right now running solo in the qualifying.
Nice turn through turn 19.
I like that you guys named that turn 19.
Right around 157 to that turn. We'll kind of use that as a gauge as the cars are coming back into the short course. One of our drone pilots in upper left-hand corner going to catch Jamie as he comes across the line. There we have it. Let's see. 2:16.21.
Wow, he just took the pole.
2:16.21.
Faster.
We got a brand new leader in qualifying, Jamie McCoy.
Wow, he's going to be super stoked about that. He's so excited about his brand new car.
Nearly 2 full seconds. McCoy now running up front as far as qualifying goes.
Super exciting. Now, and on course right now, we have the 49.05 of Michael Sawyer.
Not bad turn, now headed up the other. What section will he run up the mountain? Looks like while Michael Sawyer's out on course, let's now go to Jim back in the pits as he's got our fast qualifier.
Okay, I'm down here in the pits now with Jamie McCoy. Now, Jamie, talk to me about that. That was a hell of a run.
Thank you. This is a brand new car, man. I've been waiting a long time to do this. It's just awesome. Eric at CA Technology and his boys built it for me, and Gary tuned it, and man, it's really fun.
I gotta say, it just looks absolutely shiny, but most importantly, it looks super quick out there. How's it feel?
It's really good. You know, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I was one of the first ones on, and track's changed a lot, but probably made a few mistakes, but it's probably pretty good too, I guess.
Well, if that's making mistakes, I'm really looking forward to race day because that looks like it's going to be very, very special. So what are your plans for race day? You got a strategy?
You're going to win.
Now, that's a pretty cool strategy. Now, Jamie, you got some people you want to say thank you to?
Oh, definitely. You know, like I say, Can-Am, you know, it don't happen without them. And Eric at CA Technologies, Gary and G-Force, NOS suspension on this new buggy, MRT tires. You know, shoot, it's a long list, but, you know, it just doesn't happen without them. I have a wonderful family at home, and I miss them real bad, and I got 17 employees just digging so I can get out here and have all this fun, and I just can't thank these people enough. I'm a very blessed man.
Indeed you are. Now you've got that nervous moment of knowing that you've got all of those guys in Power Hour who are going to be gunning for your time. That's going to be fun to watch.
You know, we were supposed to be in Power Hour. This is a brand new car, and we had some new car blues. And, you know, I said I'm going to need some time to get it done. And I've raced the Ultra 4 for a while now. And you know, he said, you come when your car's ready. So we had a few issues to work out this morning, and I took it out and it was right, and I said, let's go to the line, boys, you know. But I was supposed to be in Power Hour, but I opted out. But just a great organization. It's Ultra Ford, you know, the people you meet, and, you know, it's just a lot of smiling faces out here today, man. Just a good time.
Well, you've certainly made a lot of people very happy. Mate, we look forward to seeing you later on today, and good luck, and I hope you're near the top later on. Thank you very much, Jamie McCoy. Right, back to you guys up in the booth. We'll see you very soon.
Thanks a lot, Jimmy, and once again, he said it for the first time. Thanks again, Jim, and once again, he said it for the first time this afternoon, Power Hour.
Power Hour. Everybody loves that accent. So excited to have him back here this year. Now, Michael Sawyer, who just went, he ran a 2:55.100. So and on course right now, we have the number 240 of Tristan Montgomery. Heard some cheers out there for him just now. Super excited for everybody out here watching. We have a whole bunch of people out here by the fire pit watching qualifying. It's been quite a day of qualifying. Here comes Mr. McCoy right in front of us right now. As he's waving, going by. Congratulations on that number 1 spot right now.
He's got the Rose Bowl parade wave down.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice job by Tristan climbing right there. Nice line. You know, not overly fast, not slow, but just seems to run a very consistent pace this whole time.
Now, I've been hit and miss of watching this all day long, so you know which lines are faster and or which lines people are taking and getting those faster times.
Headed back now towards Hammertown on the short course. Well, looks like Jim's got somebody else now down in the pits. Jim, who you have this time?
Okay, I'm Darren Dan down here in the pits now with another guy, another Brit, would you believe? We were coming over in strength this year. Now, this is a guy called Chris Abel. Now, Chris was one of the very first racers to race with UTVs back in Europe. Right back, Chris, when was that, 10 years ago?
That was in 2005, and at the time I came into racing using a Yamaha Rhino. And it was a bit of a crazy thing to do at the time, racing against much bigger trucks. But that got me into motorsport, and then I progressed and ended up doing Ultra 4.
Fantastic. Now, this is your first time here at Hammers. Just very quickly, tell me about this as we watch the 711 going around the course. What do you think?
Oh, it's amazing to see just the progression in the sport, and the Can-Am, Polaris, the Honda, Kawasaki, it's just huge now, and it's amazing to see.
Absolutely. So do we have to tell your wife to be worried that you might be buying another vehicle?
Maybe.
Chris, thank you very much. Enjoy your time here at Hammers, and let's get back to some racing. Guys, back to you in the booth.
Thanks a lot, Jim. And I know that Tristan just crossed the line a moment ago. He'll be 29th quick with a time of 2:38. 29th quick. And who we have in the course now?
On course right now, we have the 711 of Ray Johnson running that Can-Am. You can see he's prepared. He's got those either Max Tracks or something on the top there. Some people use those out on course. Looks like he's running some Zollinger Racing products also. He has that decal on the side.
Wow, he's really kicking up the rocks. Some are basketball size. You saw being kicked up and rolling down the hill.
It's amazing the brutal rock, like what these cars can take out there on course.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Ray Johnson comes back into the short course, we're going to step aside real quick for a few words from our sponsors. We'll be right back with more qualifying action from the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship presented by Progressive Insurance.
Thankful to have VP Fuels on board.
UTV 96 is like perfect in these things, makes them rip.
It ran cool, it ran strong.
We got into those rock sections where we really needed that throttle response, and it was right there every time.
We run all VP lubricants. We haven't had any problems with any kind of leaking or any kind of heating issues.
And in the State Frosty, no drama, temperature stayed under 200 the entire race.
4WP is more than a store. We're truck and Jeep experts and have been for over 50 years. From wheel and tire upgrades to full custom builds, 4WP has you covered. Whether you want to order the best parts online or shop in store, do the work yourself or get it done by a pro, all roads lead to 4WP. Do your rig right. Shop online or find your store at 4WP.com.
To the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship presented by Progressive Insurance. We are here right now, and if you are at home watching this live and you do not have the premium, you can subscribe to it and still see the action going on while we're in commercial, because there's always action on course for sure. And right now we have on course, it's Mark Masoli, the number 805.
Yeah, he's doing very well out here. Again, another one of those drivers, not overly fast, not taking chances, but keeping it nice and smooth and consistent. That's the thing. He's not real fast going up and then burping the throttle and hitting the brake, then burping the throttle and hitting the brake. It was just a straight shot up the hill, nice and smooth. And it should be right about mid-pack as far as his qualifying effort.
Well, you're talking about him being smooth. Well, smooth is faster, so you want to be easy on that, be consistent. You know, being belt-driven vehicles also, you don't want to be on it too much because that can also wear and tear the belt even more. Most of these guys will change them before race day anyway, but he's getting ready to cross that finish line.
And let's see. Oh, this is... And Veronica Whitesell's out on course. A little bit of a scoring issue with Marsoli. But right now it's all about Veronica, who's out on course and about to hit the hardest part of the whole qualifying run.
I overheard some drivers last night talking about the qualifying course today and going, wow, this is a super hard qualifying course compared to normal. But they were super excited about running it. They all started pre-running it last night just to get their feet wet with it. And it's paying off for some of those that did go do that.
You can see the co-driver in there waving his hands, what direction to get ready to turn for the driver. Whoa, for a second they're going far left and all of a sudden decided to go right up the middle.
We'll see if it pays off. A little bit steeper, you know, going up the rocks like that, but the other side is a sandy, silty hill, so we'll see if that pays off going up the rougher section or not.
Whoa, oh, no. You saw that coming? Oh, man. Almost could have done like a Dennis Anderson gravedigger turn right into that thing, but so close.
Exactly.
You saw that coming. probably for about 30 feet up on 2 wheels. And
well, you can see the rocks right there that she more than likely hit. And looks like she was trying to spin herself back over. The drone is there, getting footage. Tough break though for Veronica.
Can you imagine being inside a car that's up on its side and all of a sudden you're looking up at a drone?
Exactly.
Taking a picture of you.
They're getting ready. They're going to show us a replay right now.
Here's there we go. Up on 2 wheels for about 20 feet. You can see she just about started to turn into it, but had nowhere to go and up and over.
Once it gets to that certain point of a bicycle, sometimes you just can't turn it back. And we can't see the camber of the hill. It could have been lower on her side, and she couldn't have turned out of it maybe. You can see the co-driver getting out.
You know, it's kind of cool to think about. Not only does their prep work on these cars, obviously back in the shop, but a lot of the teams, they practice getting out of a car on its side or on its roof or whatever it is. So, I mean, you are well trained in every facet of what could take place out on the course, whether it be jumps, rocks, whatever it may be, uphill, downhills, the mountain climbs. But the biggest thing I think is when the teams that do just that, is practice getting out of a car that's on its side or upside down.
Exactly, and you know what a lot of teams do also, just because you never know, they will actually practice this blindfolded, because you need to be able to do this quickly, getting out, or strapping back in even. I have heard of a lot of teams that will do that blindfolded just because it helps you, to do things. When you have that helmet on, you don't have much movement. You have your R3 on that's hooked in, and it's confining feeling. So practicing. But we have Ben down, going to give us a little information down below.
He's about to qualify. He's about 5 through. So Tyler, how do you think this course is going to go?
Yeah, it looks pretty chewed up. I'm just going to try and do the best I can and have some fun.
Awesome. And did you get a chance to pre-run this?
I have not pre-run. We just basically got this car finished up this morning, so it's been a long night and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. And looks like there's a few things still coming together. Typical sometimes with racing, it's all last minute sort of rush. Where'd you guys come from?
I come down from San Juan Capistrano.
Okay, so not too far to go back and get yourself sorted or get down here. This your first time out here?
No, last year I was co-driver, but I've been coming out here for about 13 years, so.
Awesome, so you've well and truly got the bug. Now you're in the driver's seat. You're going to make some history for yourself and have a great time out there. Best of luck, mate. Enjoy the course.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Back to the guys in the booth. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ben. And, man, he's busy as well. Jim and Ben down there. And it looks like we've got Veronica back up on the wheels. We'll see if she will try to continue on or just pull off to the side and wait for a recovery. Oh, she's still not in the car. I'm working on that. But it sounds like we've got Jim Morrison down in the pits once again with somebody. Jim, who do you have?
Okay, I'm down here with Jordan Pellegrino. Now, UTV racing has been moving on over the years, and we're seeing new manufacturers coming in. And Jordan here is sitting in one of the new Honda Talons. Jordan, how you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm very well, mate. Very happy to be back here in Hammertown. Now, talk to me about this new Honda Talon.
Yeah, so we raced with Honda last year, and it was a great experience. I love this car. It works really good in the rocks, which is, what I'm most of the time good at. And it's just a blast to get out here and have the opportunity to race with these Honda guys. So, yeah, looking forward to having some fun.
Fantastic. Now, would you consider this a bit of a pre-run for the main event on the 4400 on Saturday?
Absolutely. It's a great experience. It's a good warm-up for our team, and it just gives us another opportunity to get eyes on the course right before our big race. So it's an absolutely great opportunity and great pre-run for the big race.
Fantastic. Now, what are your hopes and dreams for this race? Are you out there as a contender, or are you out there just pre-running?
Yeah, no, I'm always out there to be a contender, whether I'm taking mental notes or not. It's always game time.
Fantastic. Well, mate, we look forward to seeing you on this qualifying course very, very soon. Jordan, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Guys, that was Jordan Pellegrino here in the Honda Talon. Back to you in the booth.
Thanks a lot, Jim. And we still have, we're working on getting Veronica back underway. And it looks like we got John Carnival ready to take the green flag for his qualifying run. And there she is. Veronica's on her way. I haven't been able to detect any kind of damage in the car, but it was kind of a baby rollover. If anything, there might be cosmetic on the driver's side. But as of right now, really don't see any damage whatsoever. You see the co-driver there helping her down the hill. He was having fun waving at the drone a moment ago.
Yes, they do that sometimes. Those drones like to come in on the drivers to see, what's going on inside and around the car. And the majority of the time, they're waving.
So she's driving off the course right there. I guess the co-driver's in pretty good shape because he's just running back. That's a little bit of a hike. But it is downhill, so he's got gravity working for him. There's John Carnival ready to take the green flag, the number 226 Can-Am. See the crowd starting to grow a little bit in numbers out here in front of the fire pit as we're getting closer and closer to power hour. Should have, let's see, Curtis Morris coming up in just a moment, along with Casey Peoples and Ryan Kummerfeld, our next three. Not a bad day. A little bit dusty, but as far as dust goes, this is nothing what we've had the last few days.
I know.
Yeah.
2 days ago? Okay, so I used to live in Bakersfield, and people that are from like the Central Valley of California know the fog and what it looks like. And 2 days ago here, you couldn't see anything.
You can barely see four-wheel parts from here.
Exactly. It was horrible.
John Carnival's off the line. Nice looking Can-Am. So we have John out on course. Pam, you've been doing a little bit of research, and there's a fan that has a question for you on what the stock class is all about, or a question about the stock class.
Yes, so somebody is asking, if you have a stock rig, what do you have to do to change to be able to race the stock class? So there are a few things here. We have a whole rule book on this, but just a few things are the 33-inch tires are max unless the OEM factory equipment. The tubing has to directly connect to the pickup points and may not be changed. Reinforcing is allowed. Materials may be added but not removed. Then there are no bypass shocks, which shocks are a big thing in rock racing, but there are no bypass shocks unless the OEM factory equipped. They do have to run the full body, so it's the full body of the vehicle. They are allowed to trim the rear bed plastics for fitting of a spare tire. And then also the doors may be replaced with aftermarket doors or closed panels. So there are a few things there that I've just answered. Hopefully that answered their question, but we do have a full rule book on all the information that you need to come race your stock rig.
Yeah, Encyclopedia King of the Hammers.
Exactly.
So not a bad run by John as he's working his way back into the short course. And he's a little bit off. Probably about 10 seconds off our leader's pace, I want to say.
Another Can-Am out there. So another thing that's going on out here at King of the Hammers, which I'm really excited about, and I've actually had people that know personally have been messaging me that have been out helping. We have the Tread Lightly cleanups going on daily since January 30th, and it'll run all the way up to January 5th. It's super exciting for people to come out and volunteer and help pick up the trash. I always say pack it in, pack it out, and the majority of us do, but there are some people that don't know the desert etiquette. But to help Tread Lightly out here and keep our desert clean and beautiful is big.
Looks like Curtis Morris might be having problems. He's come to a stop. In the meantime, let's go back down to the pits with Jim Marsden.
And then I kind of got the left side of the car kind of got stuck in a rut in the rocks, and I couldn't steer into it, and it just flopped over on its left side.
Oh, no, let's see that. Now, we're all watching, and you had a hell of a good pace going on there, so you must be very disappointed.
Not really, because I'm not really a good qualifier, so I'm glad I got this kind of out of the way early.
Now, let's just have a quick word with your co-dog there. How was that going for you?
Well, I'm now 2 for 2 with rolls with drivers in qualifying right now. This is my first time in the UTVs, first time racing. Definitely would have helped if we had run the course at all. We had zero time on the course, so we were just kind of watching your guys' live feed, trying to learn everything that we could. Did our best. Huge thanks to all our sponsors, all our marketing partners that are helping us out, getting out here. Huge thanks to Nolan and all the rest of the pit crew, Cole and Jerry. Got to keep getting it right. But all those guys for helping us get out here, and thank you guys to Ultra 4. Thanks for having us out.
Yeah.
Now, Veronica, I'm seeing a theme here. This guy's been in 2 cars and 2 cars have rolled. You know they say don't take bananas to sea? Well.
Yeah, but I'm not very good at qualifying either, and I usually biff it somehow, so I'm just glad to have this roll out of the way. And it was unfortunate it was qualifying, but we've got our work cut out for us on Thursday.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck. Get the car back. Make sure it's all ship shape in Bristol fashion and ready for the race on Thursday. Good luck, guys, and we'll see you very soon. Back to you guys in the pits. Catch you in a bit.
Thanks a lot, Jim. And like I said, Curtis Morris had early problems, came to a complete stop, well off the pace, but still underway, making his way back into Hammertown. But the time is not going to be really anything to brag about.
Very true, but one good thing though is he's stuck with it. He's still going, because there are people that will roll or do whatever. Keeping if you can get your car back going, finish your qualifying run, and then you'll still have a little bit better position. It's a little bumpy down there at the bottom of the Bronco Hill.
Kind of curious as what is the problem off the line is that we got 11:28. Casey Peoples taking the green flag.
And Curtis Morris, he's in our short course right now, he's still coming through.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I see a left front flat tire for one thing.
That's definitely a problem. Now, there are some people that didn't even go pre-run this, and this is their first time on the course. So some people know what areas to avoid, and like he had an issue, but still finished out his lap. Casey Peoples is having a pretty good run going here. Doesn't look like, I can't tell if he has his co-driver in there with him or not, but we already talked about, benefits to having one or not having one earlier.
I kind of like the idea of having get the setup that you want for your race, you get basically part of a lap, or at least what we'll say a half a mile of more experience, more wheel time of that setup with everything you're going to have for the race.
Exactly.
If you really are into qualifying, you're going to have to retune everything as far as the shocks, the valving, all that kind of stuff, minus that weight, and then you have to tune it back to the race. So it's like a lot of extra work. Is it beneficial? I don't know.
I don't
know.
know.
That would take a whole lot of testing to figure out in itself.
Very true. And that's exactly what you just said. People go out and they test and they tune. They've been out here, for a week before all this testing and tuning. They know exactly what they need to do to change their setup back to having their co-driver with them, or some just run it as you should. Or run it as you are in the race, I should say.
We got Casey Peebles coming back into the short course. And we heard another car take off, and that is Ryan Kummerfeld. There we go. It looks like a Can-Am. The 418 going a little bit wide off
on
course.
That turn, yeah. You get so focused on it, and you're coming in hot to a turn and can't quite make the corner.
I'm just wondering if he's one of the drivers that didn't have a chance to do the pre-run.
They don't get the pre-run download until the day before the race, so they're not able to go and just pre-run it. They have, they do it the night before.
Yeah, there's a little difference going on right now with Kummerfeld. It looks like he's done this before.
Definitely. And you can see he does not have his co-driver with him in his car, so he's out there solo right now. Some people have navigation systems too that talk to them through their headset, so you can set up certain navigational systems to talk to you. So
really?
That's another thing.
That's a new one to me. But how ahead of time
I don't
does
know
it start
that one.
talking to you?
I'd never had one that fancy when I raced, so I couldn't tell you that.
Nice run up the mountain through the rocks, but we'll see. He's got a little bit to finish in. Another different line, but man, this is a pretty impressive run so far by Ryan.
Man, when they get back down there on the flats, they are on it.
We got three more cars before a certain driver who's never been here before, but is a master of the dirt. He's never been here before, but he knows dirt, knows off-road, whether it be a steering wheel or handlebars, and that's Brian Deegan.
Yes, he's coming up.
He's about three cars out before he comes out for qualifying. His first time under competition conditions.
And he has a very seasoned co-driver out here co-driving for him, Mr. Terry Madden.
Yeah, and they've done a lot of pre-running too, a lot.
Yes, they have.
So it sounds like Brian Reed is off the line.
Brian Reed, this is not the only car he's racing this week out here at King of the Hammers. He is also a Monkey with a Knife team. So they'll be racing later on in the week as well. Got a little bit of the story from Brian. He's been out here doing his pre-running and everything. So all their vehicle numbers are 416, and their Monkey with a Knife car, when they bought that, it came with that number. And funny backstory to it, he was telling me that there are about 5 people on their team that their birthdays are 416. So they couldn't change the number. And then when they went and bought this Can-Am that he's currently on course with, they looked at the VIN number, and the last 3 digits of the VIN number is 416. So it's like meant to be. Isn't that crazy? But he's doing good.
Finished his qualifying number So Ryan Kummerfeld finished his qualifying number with a 236 for 26th qualifying position. So not a bad run. 26th spot.
Oh, he hit a nice rock right there.
Whoa, far right side. Not too many cars have gone in that section. Bouncing off that boulder.
Hey, it's like a ping pong game right there. Or what is not ping pong, pinball. But hopefully it didn't hurt him. He has been out here doing his pre-running, though. I do know that much. He's actually been out doing some pre-running with Mr. Bailey Cole.
You know, some of these UTV guys are pretty darn smart.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
boy,
whoa.
there we go. On the wheels.
Oh, on the wheels.
Stay
Gas
there,
it, gas
turn
it,
into
gas it.
Oh, man.
So unfortunate. Almost had it.
And there's that famous crash drone. Oh, boy.
So unfortunate.
How about that for the recovery crew? Right there within, what, less than, what, 7 seconds? The recovery crew is right there.
Trying to make up some time down there at the bottom, I think, for taking that tougher line earlier. Yes, our recovery crews are amazing. They get to them super quick, making sure everybody's okay. And we're going to actually look at this again, so we're going to show a replay right now.
This was one of those, it's coming, oh man. Here, everybody's voices started rising. There it is.
It's kind of bounced.
Come on, get on the throttle, turn in. Oh, man. You know, it looks real easy from where we're sitting, huh?
Just like bounce right there, hit a rock. Oh, it was so close. That's when you go back and you watch the replay yourself and you're like, what could I have done different to turn into it? Or just, he was just at that tipping point. I don't think anything could have helped him on that.
Here's our top 5 in qualifying to this point, as we still have a lot of cars to go, as well as Power Hour. 5th spot would be Welch in the 221 UTV Open Stock. 4th quick is Smith in the 1948.
Mr. Joshua Smith. And then in the 3rd position is Michael Park. Number 2 position is Paul Wolf. And Mr. Jamie McCoy is still holding on to that number 1 spot.
Are you going to be doing your happy dance if he stays there?
I put my money on Jamie McCoy. I don't know. That's unfortunate. You really have to watch the rocks out there, and unfortunately, one of our recovery crews just took a little tumble. But he's okay. You can see him there in the screen.
Yeah, Brian's like, hey, dude, do you realize that was just on camera?
But yes, Mr. McCoy, he's one to reckon with, for sure. And they're getting him. Just got Mr. Brian Reed turned over, and it sounds like we have Jim down there. Let's see what Jim has to say.
Okay, here I am. I'm down in the pits now. We're getting ready for Power Hour, which is only less than 30 minutes away. And check this guy out. It's only Dustin Battleaxe Jones. How are we doing?
Oh, man, I'm excited, dude. Power Hour is a crazy time to qualify. All the fastest guys, it seems, end up in Power Hour, so there's a lot of pressure, and we're the first one running, so I'm nerve-wracked right now.
Now, have you been looking at the score sheet? Have you been looking at the times that have already been laid down?
Nope, I haven't watched a single person qualify. I haven't looked at the score sheets. I don't know who's where. I'm just going to come out here and run it as hard as I can and see where it shakes out.
Fantastic. Now, that's the kind of attitude we like. That's the kind of thing that people at home love as well. Have you done any pre-running?
Yeah, we did get to run a little bit of the desert section today and the rocks yesterday. Man, this is by far the roughest King of the Hammers that we've ever raced. So it's going to be a battle of attrition like never before. And so, man, you're going to have to get a good qualifying to start willing the race.
Now, quickly, you want to get ready shortly, but tell us a little bit about this weapon.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to race one of our cars. We're from Louisiana, and we build all of our own chassis. So our chassis won King of the Hammers 2 years ago, podium last year, and, man, little luck on our side. I'll put it up top this year.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck. We look forward to seeing you out on the course very shortly. Good luck. See you soon. There we go, guys. Back to the booth. Just how good is this race?
Thanks a lot, Jim. And I hear he's hiring, by the way. So, Jim, I know you got a company back in the UK. You have to go home. You cannot work for Nelson. But I hear that the team is hiring for, I believe, a fabricator and.
Wow.
And,
I did not know that.
Oh, he's got this big, 2-minute commercial thing on Facebook. He's looking out there, team manager, this and that, and other thing, and we want to welcome him to send your resume to this. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, it looks like they're going to have to actually tow Brian Reed off course here. So something happened that we'll find out about later. Maybe he'll come over and chat with us.
Yeah, that was Brian Reed, like Pam said. Coming up next should be Justin Barth, Chris Branton, and Brian Deegan, the third car. He's on double deck, we'll say. Double deck.
Double deck.
Baseball reference.
I don't watch baseball. I used to. I'm glad you know it because I don't. So Mr. Justin Barth is on the line getting ready to take off for his qualifying run. He races with us in other racing, our Ultra 4 races all over. So it's exciting to see him here.
We just found out that they moved Brian Deegan into Power Hours, so he's not on double deck. So we're going to push that back forward. So Justin Barth, Chris Brennan, and Kyle Anderson will be the next 3.
Super exciting to see all of these people out here. Some of them that have been here before, they are stoked to be here. The ones that have not been here, out here pre-running, loving this race course. Our desert racing that we had over after this past weekend, people were saying that was a true desert race. Like, it was super rough, super fast, and everybody had a blast. And there goes Justin Barth off the line.
Yeah, as Justin Barth hits off the line, I'm going to step aside. Ian Johnson's back in town, so it's going to be you and Ian
Awesome.
for a while.
Well, thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Pam.
I'll see you later.
Thanks, Ian. As I wreck the place.
So Ian, you've been up here quite a bit today. You just got to take a little bit of a break. So how was your break for you?
Break's always good. You know, it's always good to walk around Hammertown, see what's going on out there, getting ready to see everyone lining up for Power Hour. Gonna be super excited. Looked like you guys had lots of action up here while I was gone, which is great. And we're just working through the qualifying for the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship presented by Progressive Insurance. Catch me up here, Pam. What do we got? Do we have a new fast qualifier, right?
We do. Mr. Jamie McCoy, who is from Tennessee. He is on our number 1 spot. He is a Can-Am driver as well. In our number 2 spot, we have Mr. Paul Wolf. And then we have Michael Park, number 3. Joshua Smith in that number 4 spot. And Mark Welch in that 5th position. So that's our top 5 right now. We've had a lot of action on there. We have Veronica Whitesell. She actually did a little flip over, and then we just had also Brian Reed. They had a rollover. They're all fine, but Brian Reed was getting towed off course just now. So a little bit of action out there while you were gone.
Always lots of action here in Johnson Valley for the Progressive King of the Hammers, powered by Optima Battery this whole week. Lots of racing all week long. As we can see, we're still working through our stock UTVs, though.
Yes, we are. It's we have the stock. Well, actually, Justin Barth is our first stock turbo to qualify, and then we have Christopher Branton up next, who is our other stock turbo.
There we go.
So we have a lot of stock UTVs out there that have already qualified, and we had a person online ask a question of what you can have to do to your stock rig to come out here and race. So we went through a few of the rules. There's a lot of
Make sure your payments are up to date.
Exactly.
Update your insurance and come on out and race. That's all you got to do, right?
Right.
Don't tell the bank that your car is on a race course.
And right now we just had the 4046 of Christopher Branton take off on the line.
All right, well, it sounds like Jim's got some action going on down in the pits. Let's go for it, Jim.
So Christopher Branton has a good run going.
And for those of you at home or watching the live stream, if you want to keep up with the minute-by-minute scoring, it's live.ultra4racing.com/live/scoring. That will give you all the information you need to see where your favorite drivers are. But I hear we have Jim down in the pits, maybe?
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'm down here in the pits, and check this out. It's Cameron Steele, the man, the legend himself. Cam, how we doing?
We're doing good. I mean, I'm having a great time here at King of the Hammers. It's become kind of my most focused on race every year, other than maybe the Baja 1000, and spend a ton of time in the rocks. And I think it's funny that no matter how much time you spend, I still get nervous. I don't know about all the other guys, but like I'm looking at the obstacles out here, I'm like, has anybody gone off that waterfall? I'm like, I'm not going off that thing. It's like someone asked me, what do you think? I'm like, I don't think so. You know, I mean, the 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds isn't worth it to me. But I'm just having a great time. You know, unfortunately, we had good qualifying yesterday, 4th and 7th in the T1 race, and I lost an input shaft, I think, at mile 1 before the mile 1 marker, parked, and that feels pretty foolish. And then Bobby Picoy had a seal come out in his steering and failed at pit 1. So we raced the Baja 1000 and had great success, 2 in the top 10, and we couldn't get to mile 17 at King of the Hammers.
But that's what makes Hammers so special. It is the toughest off-road race in the world, arguably, and that's why we keep coming back year after year. So tell us about your UTV that you're racing this year.
My UTV is all new. I raced a Can-Am. Last year I raced basically a totally stock unit, which would be in a different class this year. I'm racing the Pro Turbo. And Mitchell Alsup from Alsup Racing Development built me an all-new chassis, beautiful car. It still has a stock Can-Am, you know, all the parts, internals and stuff, but it has a different chassis, and I'm really excited. We went to the 35-inch BFG this year. Last year we ran on the 32. I'm really fired up because it's the first brand new race car I've had in a few years, and it's super exciting for me. And I love the fact that Brian Deegan's here and Jeremy McGrath's here, and then, you know, we got Bailey Cole and the Greaves and the Campbells and all these hitters from the rock and short course and all these different worlds coming together, and it all happens in the Can-Am UTV race, which is cool, right?
That is. I mean, then we got Hunter Miller, Cody Miller, then Justin Battleaxe Jones. The list of superstars in this class just gets longer and longer every year, and we haven't even mentioned Shannon Campbell yet.
Well, I said the Campbells. I did give the Campbells some love. Hey, you know what I think about Hunter and Cody Miller is that they have a great attitude and a great game plan. I was out on the rocks the other day doing some pre-running on my feet, running around on trails, and they were out there trying insane lines. And I'm like, you know, we talked about that in our Ultra 4 car with 40-inch tires, and they're over there with 35s doing it, and they have a great attitude. Cody ended up tipping it over, and I'm like, I had the GoPro. I'm like, hey, introduce yourself right now, and he totally did it. You know, I think they just have fun, and there's a reason for them and Dustin, the success that Phil has. They all have a smile on their face, and they're having a good time. I think if you overthink it, you're pissed off, which I was a little pissed yesterday on a couple things. I think you're just ruining the reason for being here racing. And King of the Hammers is about fun. And Dave and Ryan and Ted and the entire team of the USAC guys lay out an amazing race, and I'm so stoked to be racing in California.
It's fantastic. I mean, for us, coming from the other side of the pond, there's another one rolls off the line. The number 96 Yamaha. It is fantastic to be part of it. It's fantastic to see you racing. So Cam, we look forward to seeing you lining up shortly, and we'll be back to you guys in the booth. See you soon.
Thanks, Jim. And Cameron Still yesterday in his trophy light class, he actually won that class. So he's been out here pre-running, already racing. Super excited to have him back out there again.
Yeah, Cameron's one of those drivers who's definitely sort of embraced the whole King of the Hammers lifestyle. He's out here racing multiple different classes all week long. We're going to see him out here in a UTV qualifying shortly.
It looks like on course is that Jordan Pellegrino. I can't quite make out the number.
It might be Kyle Anderson.
Kyle
I think
Anderson,
is who
okay.
It might be. Yeah, on the ticker it says Brian Deegan, but that is not who that is.
It
yeah,
is
that's
Kyle Anderson. Good job.
Brian Deegan, his qualifying was actually moved to Power Hour. That's why we don't see him out there. So we'll see him later at right after 4 o'clock when we see the heroes in the sport, as we like to say.
I was actually I was surprised to see him not in Power Hour, but obviously that's where he was supposed to be, so we moved him on over there.
Well, you know, it's one of those things we always talk about Power Hour, whether it's good or bad. If you are going very late in the day, the good thing is we got a lot of cloud cover today. Power Hour there's always that issue right when the sun goes down.
Yes.
You know, you come around the corner at the bottom, drop it back in the desert for the last little section, and the sun hits you right in the eyes. So we actually had a couple drivers pull out of Power Hour and slide back up.
Well, Mr. McCoy was one of them.
Yes, came back up and wanted to race in a different time. But I don't think the sun's going to be an issue today. I think it's just going to be the fact that the course is going to be pretty tore up.
I totally agree with you on that. And some of these drivers, they do have sun visors on there, but when you're driving in the rocks going up and down, that actually limits your vision of where you need to be going. So the sun in your eyes is not fun for sure.
Yeah, we're seeing Kyle Anderson do a good job here. This is another one of these stock UTVs. Stock naturally aspirated. So non-turb skied. coming up through the Bronco arch. Looks like he almost missed the Bronco arch there for a second.
Wait a minute, there's red tape there. I'm not supposed to go that way. Now, they have 3 different lines they can come down right there. You've been up here all day. Have most of them been taking that left line like you just saw him do?
Our fast qualifiers have been coming through the center line wide open. The scary thing is when you come over that, there's one big giant rock right at the bottom, and we've seen it come up and get a couple tires so far today. But it seems like the fast line there is through the center, wide open, fully committed. The other fast line that we're seeing is in that rock climb when they're coming up that section. You see there's that far left side or the rocks to the right, but there's actually another line kind of in between. It's a little bit of a combination of dirt and rock.
Okay.
We've been, John and I this morning, we were putting stopwatches on the modified UTVs, and it is faster to take that sort of middle line.
Okay.
Only a second, but it makes a huge difference. But I really do think most of the time is actually picked up on that downhill section right before they get back into the dirt. They got to go in there and fully commit and just fly down that downhill section.
And the rocks can actually help them keep traction to where when you get into that sandy silt, it won't keep it. But off the line, we just had the number 98 of Jordan Pellegrino. He is running a Honda. Looks like he so far has done his pre-run.
Yeah, we've watched this section here also. It looks like that inside line is the fastest line. It actually sits up a little bit taller. You have to commit to it early when you come out of Hammertown, but so far it's been the fastest line through that opening desert section right before you come here. See, this is getting a little bit chewed out, but it looks like he made quick work of it right there. All right, well, while we watch Jordan work through his qualifying run, we're going to take a quick break from the action. Remember, if you have subscribed to the premium feed, you are not going to miss anything. You're going to get to see it all. So if you haven't subscribed to that premium feed, you should definitely consider it, even for today, but definitely when it comes to race day. You're not going to want to miss any action here in Johnson Valley at the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Dominance, proprietary patented race technology, proudly made in the USA, unparalleled customer service and support, the choice of champions, King Shocks, the leader in off-road shock technology.
Be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Bronco, an American classic, returns. And it only gets better when it's outfitted with the right gear. From bumpers to winches, rigging accessories, suspensions, body armor, and wheels. You need a full array of gear to outfit your Bronco for adventure. Get them now at warn.com.
The all-new 2021 Ford F-150 is available with 7.2 kilowatts of electrical power. In case you ever need your truck to power your kitchen.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship presented by Progressive Insurance. We are here in Johnson Valley. I'm Ian Johnson. With me is Pam Hall in the booth, and we're calling UTV Qualifying today.
Yes, we are. It's exciting. I love this class. It's just this is the largest growing class in any style of desert racing, rock racing. I can't believe that how many drivers there are. I mean, there's some people that call us golf carts. There's some people that, call it bicycles or whatever. But yeah, this is such an awesome class to be watching and to be announcing with you today, Ian.
It is definitely a fun class to watch. As you said, it's a fast-growing class. We have 110 cars in this class today. We've got lots of people out there. Right now, I believe we have Jacob Watson on course. No, yes, we do. Haha, Jacob Watson. I knew it. Apparently, he is 16 years old.
Super cool. Having young drivers out here.
Yep.
We did have a young lady racing with us on Saturday, Ariel Goodall, and she was 15 years old. So she's our youngest female driver out here, and she won her class. So to see these young kids out here racing, I love seeing it.
Yep. As we watch Jacob make quick work, he's at 1 minute right at the bottom of the turn. The question will be, which way does he go here? Does he take that soft line or the rocks to the right? It looks like he's taking the long way around, but man, he's we've seen that long way around. It's getting dug out pretty far. I don't think we're going to see Power Hour anybody in there at all.
And what people are doing, the ones that are in Power Hour, they've been back at their camps or down here by our campfire, and they've been watching what lines people are taking, so they know which ones are getting rutted out and worse to take and faster to take.
Yeah, and they went out and pre-ran, and that's an important thing.
Exactly.
There was a lot of guys out there pre-running last night. The difference is that course has changed so much. We saw it earlier in the day when I was in here with Scott Rain. We actually looked out and we actually saw someone sitting right by the fire with a radio in their hand, and they were talking to the driver of the car, letting them know which way to go, what was coming up. And that's just part of it. Unfortunately for him, it didn't help him because what he was actually telling him was, hey, you got a left rear flat and a broken right front axle.
Oh, that
Time
just
to get off the course. So that was the end of that. But we can see right here we have our safety crew out getting this vehicle back onto its wheels.
And they have that brand new Ford Raptor right there as a recovery vehicle here at King of the Hammers this week.
Yeah, if you want to see all the Ford options, you can head over to the Ford booth. Last year we had a lot of Broncos here, but they were just sort of like pre-production, get a look at a Bronco. Now there's lots of those Broncos out in the wild, as they would say, and we see a bunch of them here, even out recreating in the dirt. But if you want to see the latest, being that Bronco Raptor, you can head over there and take a look at that.
I have not gone over and looked at that yet. I need to do that. It's funny because when you see like a picture of like all these Broncos lined up, it's like that's their stable. They're wild Broncos and they're in their stable right now. They're not so wild at that point, but...
Yep. But yeah, definitely lots of things to do here in Hammertown. If you're here in Johnson Valley or you're just coming out watching the race, the cool thing is it's one of the best parts about coming to King of the Hammers is you basically are here to watch a race. At the same time, amazing vendors set up all over inside Hammertown. It's definitely worth the effort to come in here and take a walk around and talk to the people who make the products or sell the products that you use on your car. One of the cool things is if you come up here to the front stage, you'll see a great big Boxo Tools toolbox, and that's part of a 4-wheel parts giveaway. Head over to the 4-wheel parts tent and you can enter to win that Boxo Tools. It's an amazing set of tools, huge pack of tools, and you just got to get over there, sign up, and you can win that.
All right, we're going to head on down to Ben. He has some information for us with the driver.
G'day everyone, I'm down on the short course here. We're staging for Power Hour, and I've got the one and only Bryce Menzies with me. He's in his Polaris, ready to go. He's second on the line for Power Hour. How do you find this race, Bryce?
Oh man, it's insane. I came out here for the desert race, and then to do the rock race is just something else. It's so wild. This morning I went to practice the qualifying course and almost flipped over. So it's just so much fun. I have a blast down here, running the rocks, and then this Polaris Razor, King of the Hammers, is it's a spectacular event. And to race in the rocks and in the UTV, it's just a blast. So hopefully I get through this qualifying somewhat good, and then on to the race we go.
Yeah, we all had a great day watching you just throw down in that trophy truck. It was just amazing. We were sitting in the production trailer watching some of your heli footage as well, and that thing is just phenomenal. How different is it jumping in this?
Yeah, this is so different. I'm used to doing that. I do that all the time, and I feel really comfortable going 140 miles an hour through the desert. And then you throw me in this and go 5 miles an hour through the rocks, and it terrifies me. So this is just something I'd love to go do and have fun, and to see these vehicles progress and see what they are nowadays is insane. So looking forward to putting on a show for all you guys out here, and then we'll see how we do.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you for joining us and putting this show on, because it's phenomenal having the big names of the sport staying around and racing our races, and let's see how you do. Good luck, and enjoy.
Thank you. Thanks to all you guys for coming out, and just want to say hi to my wife and kid at home. Hope you guys are watching, and I love you guys.
Awesome. Back to you guys in the booth for some more Power Hour qualifying.
All right, thanks, Ben. And I am actually going to sign out. Power Hour is getting ready to start, and Mr. John Crowley's back up here in the booth. So you guys have a great time. I'm going to go watch Power Hour from the Jumbotron.
Best seat in the house is out in front of the Jumbotron. Thanks for the break, Pam.
All right, John, it's great to have you back in the booth. We started this party. Let's finish it out right now with Power Hour, right? This is what we've been waiting for all day.
And what better way to start it than with Brian Deegan. First time ever at King of the Hammers.
Yeah, that's super exciting. He was scheduled to race a little bit earlier. They moved him down into Power Hour. This is first time racing King of the Hammers, like you said. He's out here. We've seen a lot of crossover athletes come over from that motocross world and do really well here. So it'd be excited to see what he can do here in Power Hour.
I actually spent the afternoon with Brian and Terry Madden out in the rocks yesterday pre-running. He's pretty good at the throttle. It's a little bit more whiskey than it should be, but he's learning fast. It was exciting to have him out there.
Brian Deegan, one of the Method Race Wheels athletes out here competing. Method Race Wheels, supporter of Ultra 4 here all week long in Hammertown. Brian's actually running the 401 beadlock wheel. It's an Ultra 4 specific UTV race wheel.
Bead grip technology.
Bead grip, yes. I have that on a couple of my cars. It's actually kind of cool. Grabs that inner bead, holds it in good and tight. And you can see these are literally the heroes of our sport coming in for Power Hour. This is going to be a great hour of UTV action. And the question is, John, will we see that sub 2-minute qualifying time?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes. Pulling back on my 145, but I'm going under 2.
I could see that, yes. I think we'll definitely be under 2. The question is how soon it happens. We're getting ready to see Brian Deegan leave in his Can-Am machine.
Well, and okay, rocks might not be his thing, but short course, I mean, 4 wheels aren't his real thing, but he should be able to impress us, I think.
The reason I think we see these motocross guys do so well when they come and cross over in here into UTVs, and specifically in King of the Hammer, is the ability to read the terrain.
Absolutely.
They get out there.
2-wheel guys know how to read terrain.
Well, because if you don't, it hurts a lot. And I think that comes with a lot of painful practice.
Interesting part here is Brian has his co-dog Terry in there with him. We talked about weight before, spare tire and co-dog.
Well, if you're new to the rocks, you can never go wrong with putting Terry Madden in the passenger seat of your vehicle.
Right.
Just having him beside you to talk you through what's happening is probably going to be a huge benefit to Brian.
And we're off.
So you can see that short course knowledge right there, right off the gate.
So Brian is in the stock turbo class.
Ooh, a little offline there. Looks like he's taking the wide line through the desert. Yep, we've
wide,
seen that narrow line being a little bit quicker, a little bit smoother for people. But yeah, stock turbo Can-Am UTV. But we've seen it already. We look at our basically our leaderboard right now. It's a pretty good mixture of stock, Pro Mod, and Open in that top 5. So we'll see where Deegan lands in all of it.
He's got some pretty good speed so far. Taking the outside line there.
You can see how far that's been rutted out, though.
Well, more of the rocks are exposed.
This is the section where we as announcers assume that most of the time is won and lost.
Okay.
We'll see which section he takes.
Which one is he going to do?
I think with Terry Madden in the seat, he's probably saying,
he's going up.
Put it in the rocks. Could never go
right
wrong
side.
with putting it in the rocks.
So left to right. It's a good call. Nice.
Excellent job.
Smooth run.
Very good. 118 out the top. Well, this is honestly where I think we see a lot of people pick up a lot of speed. This downhill section.
Yeah.
If he can conquer that with good speed, which it looks like he has.
Instead of riding the brakes, if you're on the throttle all the way down, that's where it makes the difference.
It will always go down the hill. Whether it's still on the wheels at the bottom is the next question. So this is kind of our unofficial split time right here. There's a little jump on this straightaway. That's it right there. He's 10 seconds off our current pole sitter. Jamie McCoy came across that under 130.
Wow.
As he comes through the Bronco arch. And then this is the question. This is where his short course training definitely has to come into play.
Right here.
Turn 19.
Turn 19. Oh.
Smart. Took it good and low. Very, very smart. And off the line right after him. That's Bryce Menzies. We're digging through our paperwork trying to find who that is.
He's not on our list.
Don't see him on our list. But that's Bryce Menzies out there right now qualifying. We're waiting to see where Deegan landed. I can pull up the scoring timer on my computer right here. I'm waiting for it to see if I see him pop in here. Brian Deegan currently 10th position with a 226.56. Very fast for a stop.
Well, so Bryce is taking the safe line. Moving, though.
He is. Right at this, we saw a second ago we were at 118 at the top, so he's a little bit faster than Deegan was through there. Bryce coming down through, but I think Deegan tackled this just a little bit quicker.
You got it.
As I said before, we'll see this split time right here. That's like an unofficial split time at this jump. That corner is hard to blow, and you can get out there wide.
He took a little wider than Deegan did.
He's about 1 second faster than Deegan is on that unofficial split time at that jump. He's definitely doing well.
See if he's going to send it off the Bronco arch.
The Bronco arch. He takes the left line, which arguably could be a little bit faster. It's a little bit closer to town. Coming into turn 19.
Potentially a little slower. We got Dustin Jones off the line, I believe. While, I think Bryce must have blown a corner. He came back on the track.
Yeah, that turn 19, that would be the second one that came across there, but it looks like he's going to come across.
I think that's what happened.
Mid-220s.
He blew the corner. All right, Dustin Jones.
All right, so Bryce goes in at 223. That puts him in 7th position.
So last year, Dustin qualified 5th.
Takes that turn.
He always says he's a Louisiana swamp boy, and he doesn't know what he's doing out here, and I call BS.
And then he comes in and lays down a fast qualifying time. Does great during the race.
He's pretty fast qualifier.
Yeah, you see him picking his way through the rocks very well there.
A little more aggressive on that downhill than the other two guys.
All right, now we'll see where he goes. It looks like he's going to take that left line. No, he's that left rock line that we've been looking at. That seems to be very smooth. The transition is nice on that line. He's a good 5-6 seconds faster right now, so he's doing very well. If he picks up a lot of speed down here, Dustin will do very, very well.
Well, it looks like he's running 35-inch tires, too. We talked about it. But with 35-inch tires, you can kind of huck it off of stuff like that without worrying about getting a flat as easy.
So he's going to come around here. If he hits that,
blowing that corner a little bit.
If he hits this jump around, he's about 4 seconds off pole position pace. But based how he's been hucking it over those big rocks, we'll see what he does here at the Bronco Arch. You can see how rutted out that desert section's starting to get there. We're watching Dustin Jones come in.
Is that Cole Clark off the line?
Still waiting to see what there we go. Dustin Jones comes in with a 2:18, third position. So that resets our leaderboard once again. That's James Cantrell out on course right now.
There you go. Should have known that.
Coming through the top. Once again, just to let you guys in on the action, we have Jamie McCoy, fast lap 2:16. That's our current pole position. Paul Wolf, who set that really early in the day, he's currently sitting in second, 2:18. And then now we have Dustin Jones rounding out our top 3 with a 2:18.938. So just under a second slower than Paul Wolf. And that's
smooth so far.
That same line, that fast rock line that we've been looking at. Watching James Cantrell come down. He's making right through that section. Good for him. Little bit off pace from our leaders. You can see this corner is getting more and more washed out.
Yeah, as we see the guys coming down that drop-off hill faster, they're going to have a tendency to blow that right-hand turn sweeper.
And we're also seeing this. Look, we've talked about this all day. We said it wasn't an issue, but look at the dust just hanging in here. We have no wind right now in Johnson Valley. So even though this is just qualifying, that dust is going to come into play when you come around the bottom of that hill.
Whoa. I think that's Ronnie Anderson off the line.
All right, I'm waiting for James Cantrell's time to sort of pop up here on our timing computer.
That's one of the Anderson brothers. I think it's Ronnie.
And that's 2:27. And yep, you guessed right. Good job. Well, that's why you're here, John, to keep us honest on all these UTV guys. This is your cup of tea.
I haven't seen everybody's.
Jim Marsden would say.
I haven't seen everybody's rap scheme yet, so I get thrown off.
Or as Jim Marsden would say, their livery. I just want to get you used to him being in the booth with you in a few minutes.
So, Ronnie last year, third fastest qualifier.
Oh, a little bit of a bobble there. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he's taking the safe line.
He's taking that.
Wow.
Long way around. Yep. But we saw our leaders come out of the top. There's a big rock right here. He's faster.
Wow.
Everyone's coming out of that top. Our current leader, Jamie McCoy, came across there right at 1:16. We'll see what happens when he comes down here to the bottom.
Whoa, he's launching it.
He's making some speed.
Yeah, well, Ronnie's a short course guy. And he's done well at King of the Hammers, so.
There he is. He is on pace.
Yeah.
We could be looking at our new fast qualifier right now as he makes his way around through the Bronco Arch and back into Hammertown.
He's been on 2 wheels quite a bit. Look at him fly off that Bronco Arch. He's moving.
Yeah, he's doing well on turn 19. Comes through that clean. We're going to stick with him on the picture-in-picture because I do believe he's going to be our new fast qualifier if he keeps this pace up.
And I want to say that's Mitch Guthrie Jr.
And he's going to come in. He's going to fly over the Yukon launch. I think he's got it.
Yeah, he's got it.
I think he's definitely got it. We'll just see what the time is when it comes across.
2:12. There you go.
That is a full 4 seconds faster. So Ronnie Anderson is now your pole position leader right here at the 2022 Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship presented by Progressive Insurance.
And Mitch Guthrie, two-time king here, 2018, 2019. Last year, he qualified 10th.
Yeah, we're watching Mitch come through here. Very, another fast time, but we expect, I mean, this is Power Hour. That's what we expected. We expected to see a lot of fast cars.
There you go. He's taking that
line. Now let's watch. Let's wait for this big rock up here.
Oh, he's got it.
112. He's a couple seconds slower than Ronnie was. Ronnie went past that rock, taking the long way around at 110. Mitch just went past it at 112, and then we'll check it with our unofficial pretend VCP right here. If he clears this at 130, no, there it is. He is 3 seconds off Ronnie's pace.
Still moving.
He's moving very fast. Can make up a little bit of time in the Bronco arch as he comes through here. There's a couple different lines through there, and one's a little bit faster than the other, less turning. Unfortunately, it sets you up high for turn 19.
Next offline, I want to say that's Jason Weller.
All right, we're going to throw to Jim. Jim right now is talking to our current pole position holder right now. Jim, let's hear it.
Hi, okay, I've got the man himself. It's Ronnie Anderson. What a run. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I was going smooth. I messed up a little bit right before that the big rock pile up there, so hopefully it sticks, but we got a lot of fast boys behind me, and I know they're going to be running hard, so hopefully it sticks, and I think we got, 20 more people to go, so we'll see.
Yeah, now that was really quick. Now talk us about those rocks. I mean, it was absolute suicide the way you were throwing off of there. Is that what it's going to take to beat your time?
Yeah, I think so. I messed up a little bit going up, so I knew I had to make a little bit coming down, so just tried to give it everything I had, and hopefully we're up there in the top 5 when it's all over with.
Fantastic. Ronnie, thank you very much, mate. We'll let you go and get yourself sorted out. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, we're watching Jason Weller here. He's racing the Pro Turbo class.
Yeah, and
stock turbo, sorry.
And he's headed up that far right line on the rocks. We just saw Mitch Guthrie come in. He did not steal the pole position, but he did slide into that second place spot with a 2:15. We're watching Jason Weller come up. You can tell this is a very different style of UTV. As John said, he's racing that stock turbo class. Being a little bit more conservative on these jumps. As you said, smaller tire, you can't really throw it off those big ledges.
And Jason's a solid guy here at King of the Hammers. He's never been on the podium, but he's always, got a good finish.
We had a question come through social right now with what is the largest tire they are allowed to run on the UTV?
So I think in the stock classes, you've got 33. And, he broke a tie rod.
Jason Weller broke a tie rod coming through the Bronco arch. Yes, the tire size is determined by the class that they're racing in. Oh, it looks like he has, well, no, he could be steering with one of those.
Yeah, that's...
Tire size is determined by the classes, but the stock class 33, 35s on the larger classes. But, John, you speculated that maybe some of these guys may step down a tire size in there for this particular qualifying.
Yeah.
But based on our top qualifiers and what they've had to do to pick up time, I bet you they are glad they put the 35-inch tires on those cars for this particular race.
And I think we got Casey Curry out on, that's Casey Curry.
That's Casey Curry, yep. Jason Weller, unfortunately, it looks like he is broken, and Casey Curry is headed up the top. We don't have him ticket in our we don't have a time on him on our in-stage clock. There it is. It just came up. He's at 56 seconds.
It looks like Casey's running 35s.
It looks like a 35-inch tall tire.
Let's see which line he takes here. Same line as Mitch.
Yep, I think that if you hit it right at the right speed, it certainly feels like whoa.
No. Oh, man.
And that's not good. He's trying to save it too, but that left front tire has left the chat, John, as the kids say.
Little pirouette.
Yep. But boom. Hey, you know what? Highlight reel.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's when you should have your sponsors on
the
your
bottom.
skid plate.
Yes, absolutely. He's probably thinking, darn, I wish I would have put that was quite the rollover up there. It looked like he tried to save it for a quick second, but unfortunately it just got out of control. And I think when he hit that left front, I think everything just gave up. Yep.
Back to the risk reward. That right side.
That right side, if you take that bounce to the right, there's a wall there to catch you.
Yeah.
That far left side, when you hit that right, they see the bounce, you're going for a ride. And I think Casey just figured that out.
Quite the ride.
And you can see Casey out there picking up. He's doing the right thing. He's packing in what he packed out.
Little tread lightly
packing
right
out
there.
what he packed in. He's cleaning up the trail. Let's take a quick look again at this replay of the action we've seen. Here it is.
Great run, and then it just slid to the right when he bumped up.
Yeah, and that's
Bam.
it right there. That's a pretty hard hit, too.
Ouch.
Yep, just an unlucky bounce. Caught the edge of that rock to the right, and that launched him up in the air.
Well, and that goes back to Ronnie Anderson. So he took the safe line, and he's sitting on our fastest qualifier right now.
Yeah, that's it. If he took the fast line, would it have been faster? It's hard to say because he is the fast qualifier. You can't take that away from him. He took the far left line.
You got a risk. You could be that, and you're starting in the back of the pack. Yep. Casey, Jason Weller are going to be in the back of the pack now.
Well, we watched the recovery crew get Casey turned right up and get him off course. I made that comment about Casey Curry picking up his trash off the trail. It's important to remember here. King of the Hammers, we're having daily cleanups with the Tread Lightly crew. There's going to be daily cleanups at Chocolate Thunder and Backdoor Spectator area every day. You can meet at Backdoor at 8:30 a.m., Chocolate Thunder 9:30 a.m. Why those two trails? They're the most popular trails at night here at King of the Hammers. Close to camp, easy to ride, lots of fun, and there used to be a lot of trash.
All right, we're going to shoot it down to Jim. He's going to be talking about the shootout tonight.
Okay, I'm joined on stage now by Matt. Now, Matt, what else is happening today? We've got this amazing power hour happening, but there's more action here at King of the Hammers today. Tell us what's happening.
What is up, everybody? Who's ready to see the shootout? We got Rock Bouncers versus Ultra 4 cars. We got some Havoc guys up here from Canada. Super excited about those guys. This year it's going to be a two-part shootout, which we'll talk a little bit about. We have stage one, which will be a certain amount of payout. It's going to be pretty handy. Then they have a second stage, which will be more of a Death Wish type shootout, so it's pretty exciting. And there'll be a pretty big grab of cash for that as well. We've never done a two-part shootout, so this year you'll have basically 2 times if you complete both stages. So you can go for it, or after the first stage, if you feel like you've got a good enough run going, you can actually quit, which will be super exciting. It'll be out on the other side of Backdoor, which we're calling Front Door, so we're pretty excited about that. It's right on the other side of the qualifying Ford Arch, so everybody head over there. As soon as the shootout's done, you can start heading over there and getting your spot. Rigid will be lighting it up for us, and they will go till we're all done or everybody's broke, so it'll be a good time.
Fantastic. Now, we all love the shootout. It's bring your banjo, bring a few drinks, and have a great time. Now, what time are they going to be starting tonight?
So we're going to start the shootout at 6 o'clock. The vehicles will be here in the infield. We're going to parade out. There's a couple of them already down there. They're going to parade out at 6 o'clock, so you'll see them. And obviously around 6, I'd get out there a little earlier than that, about quarter till, 20 till. You'll see a mass exodus of all the people heading out there. So if you're not sure where it's at, just follow all the side-by-sides headed that way. It's going to be a good time. I know we got some guys ready to make a statement, so it'll be a good time.
Fantastic. That's why we love Hammers. There's so much diversity, so much different racing. Matt, we can't wait to speak to you later on. We're going to throw it back to these guys in the booth now and crack on with Power Hour. See you soon.
All right, we are back. Next up, Jeremy McGrath.
There we go, another crossover driver. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
So he's the only guy that I know of that's racing a Kawasaki Teryx. And this isn't his first rodeo here. He's done this before, 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, a lot of these guys have come out, starting to get the hang of what King of the Hammers is all about.
Well, it's addictive. You get hooked, and you can't stay away. I've tried.
It's hard, isn't it?
I've been here every year since 2009.
Well, I think we're in the same boat almost there.
Yeah, man. You love to hate it.
All right, so we're going to take a quick little break in the action. We'll be right back here for Power Hour Qualifying Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship, presented by Progressive Insurance.
really thankful to have VP Fuels on board.
UTV 96 is like perfect in these things, makes them rip.
It ran cool, it ran strong.
We got into those rock sections where we really needed that throttle response, and it was right there every time.
We run all VP lubricants. We haven't had any problems with any kind of leaking or any kind of heating issues.
And in the State Frosty, no drama, temperature stayed under 200 the entire race.
4WP is more than a store. We're truck and Jeep experts and have been for over 50 years. From wheel and tire upgrades to full custom builds, 4WP has you covered. Whether you want to order the best parts online or shop in store, do the work yourself, or get it done by a pro, all roads lead to 4WP. Do your rig right. Shop online or find your store at 4WP.com.
Welcome back to Johnson Valley, California. We are in the middle of Power Hour qualifying for the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship presented by Progressive Insurance. We've seen lots of action today out on course. I'm Ian Johnson. In the booth with me is Mr. John Crowley, and then we have both Ben and Miles, our international contingent, out there on the mic, grabbing guys as they come in, talk about their fast laps, trying to keep you guys up to date. We're still cleaning up a little bit of mishap on the course right now. In the meantime, I think we're going to go, let's just check out our, maybe our top 10, what we got going on so far. Scratch that. Let's do top 20. All right, let's start at 20.
There you go. Patrick
Laraburu. I'm saying like a Subaru.
Blake Vandeloo, Dan Wyrick, Lance West, James Cantrell, Carson Atkins, Brian Deegan with a 14th, Brian Stone, Dustin Robbins, Cody Martin.
That takes us from 20 to 11. Our top 10. We got Bryce Menzies, 223. Adam Kinnett, 222. Mark Welch, 221. Josh Smith, another 221. Michael Park, the 219. Dustin Jones, 218. Paul Wolf set that 218 time very early. Jamie McCoy, Mitch Guthrie, and our pole sitter right now is Ronnie Anderson. But just leaving the line right now,
Jeremy McGrath. Showtime.
Jeremy McGrath. Here we go.
So the interesting part about this is he's running a naturally aspirated car. The Kawasaki Terex does not have a factory turbo or a supercharger or anything. So little disadvantage on the power side. So you can't run as fast. I mean, suspension can only make up for so much of your speed across a course like this.
It is true, but also there can be a lot said for the right driver in that seat.
Another
doing
two-wheel
work
guy.
on race day. Yep. Watching him come in and just pick his way through this terrain. He's doing a very good job. Looks like he's on maybe a 35-inch tire as well.
Big tire for a naturally aspirated car. But that thing will shred in the rocks.
Questions come up on social, and the question is, how many transmissions do these vehicles go through in a week? Well, I'm going to go out on a line and say none. Now, belts, yes. A lot of these cars run a belt drive, or CVT, I guess you could call it. When you were racing, John, how many spare belts you carry with you out there in the desert?
I always carry a spare belt, but I don't break belts, knock on wood. But, guys that push really hard and drive a little bit more crazy are going to break a belt. So the Kawasaki is a CVT-driven machine, so that's a belt. The only ones that aren't belt-driven are the Honda Talons and the YXZ. YXZ Yamaha Brock Hager is going to be coming up in a YXZ, and he's a fast qualifier as well.
YXZ also does not have low range, correct? It's just a high
No
range?
low range on the YXZ.
Yep.
The Honda Talon does.
So we talk about the belt inside there. If you were out there on the race course, how long would it take someone to change a belt on one of these cars?
So Mitch Guthrie and I broke a belt in 19, and he actually got out because I told him I wasn't going to wrench on the car if we broke anything. And we had it fixed within a couple minutes back in, and we still got first place.
Yeah, awesome. Good stuff. All right, so while we're watching number 15 come in, he's going to go over that Yukon launch. We had another car go out. It's Jeremy McGrath coming in. Looks like Jeremy McGrath's got 2:37
for 36th place.
36th, yep.
So
we are seeing an incredibly fast pace being thrown down right. Oh, look at this.
Up, little off course.
Little off course, but doing well, staying in it.
So that obviously is a stretched Razor chassis or a four-seater. It looks a little longer than
probably
normal.
One of the open UTVs out there, and he's taking that fast line that we just saw Casey get in trouble on, but he's putting that Razor to work.
But with a longer wheelbase like that, it's safer to go up that steep stuff.
Oh, he's launching it down that section. That's where we see a lot of time being made up. We don't have our ticker up on him. That's Cole Clark. Comes up right when I asked for it, and he's on pace. He's 3 seconds faster at my unofficial split time. So we may be looking at a new fast qualifier right here with Cole Clark.
Well, you get a ton of stability with a longer wheelbase.
That center line, he took the fast line through the Bronco Arch, the center line. This is definitely going to be our new fast qualifier as long as he gets through turn 19 clean.
But the question is, can you handle a long wheelbase in the tight rocks out there on Thursday? I think that might be Johnny Greaves.
It does look like Johnny Greaves. We're waiting for Cole Clark. Just laid down a 2:09. Oh, and Greaves is over. Thought maybe he was going to save it there, but nope. Cole
He's
Clark,
still working on it.
He's trying.
It's going to go. It's going to go.
He's working on it. He's still working on it. I think it's over now. It's too far down the hill at this point. I think we're going to try to get Jim to catch up with Cole Clark, our new fast qualifier with a 2:09. All right, as we get this car recovered, we're going to go ahead and get a replay of this roll. Here he goes, round the corner.
Oh,
I don't know what happened there. Just
that
a
rock.
bad luck right there. Just a bad bounce right up that one rock.
Oh, that's tough luck.
That is terrible news. So Cole's sitting right now in first place. A healthy first place, too. 3 seconds faster than Ronnie Anderson. And I think Jim has got our fast leader in place. Jim, what do you got?
Okay, I'm up on stage now, and I've got a very happy young man here. This man is Cole Clark, who has just smashed the pole position, taking a 2:09. How does that feel?
Pretty good, considering right when we got to the line, the four-wheel drive shut off, and we had no idea what was wrong. We ran back to the pits, figured out what the issue was, and my brother and I, we stayed cool, calm, and I saved all that hate that I just had at the line and just took it out, and this car is insanely fast.
Now, we were just watching you coming down the rocks there, and it wasn't really driving. It was sort of more just throwing it off the top. Is that how it felt?
Not really. The double E shocks, these things rip. Like, this car is so planted, it's like a F1 of off-road. So that's what we named it, the RF1. So
it's a very impressive machine. So what's your plan for the main race?
Take it easy for the most part. Hopefully nothing like that. But I know it's going to be a war of attrition. I pre-ran the whole course. We're prepared. But just take care of the vehicle and make sure we don't make any mistakes.
That's fantastic. Well, Cole Clark, you are current pole sitter here at the Progressive 2020 UTV King of the Hammers. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys, back to you in the booth.
Thank you very much, Jim. Yep, super exciting to see a new pole position as we have the man, Cameron Steele, on the line right there.
So Cameron has been putting in the time in Johnson Valley this year. Not only his UTV, but, the T1, I mean, he's doing a lot of stuff. He's really doing his homework. I think last year in the 4,400 race just broke his heart.
I think it did too. He in a way had that race in his pocket, and then the rock trails just came up to get him. I think he's come back again and just trying to do it all over again. And we see him sitting here in this UTV, and I think that's exactly what his plan is.
So newly built car this year, and again, he's been putting in some time here. So I'm expecting him to do well this year.
All right, we're watching Cameron as he heads out of the short course off into the desert. We'll see if he takes that high line that we've been watching people get good speed on, or if he goes around wide.
You went a little wide.
Went a little bit wider than...
Pretty good bounce there, too.
Yep.
Yeah, those whoops are big rollers that just work you.
All right, now he's coming through. You can see, look at that amazing in-car footage live here on the live stream coming from Johnson Valley.
I wonder why these guys are sore at the end of the day. So he's not on a fastest pace, but pretty smooth run so far. See where he goes. He's taking the safe route.
He's taking the safe route, but we'll get his. We have his ticker up. He's a little off pace from our fast qualifier. You want to be across that rock at the top of this hill at about the 106 mark if you want to be in that top spot. So he's definitely not going to unseat our qualifier at this point. Seems to be slowing up a little bit down this downhill section. I think we might see him top 10, top 15, I imagine.
See which line he takes across the Bronco Arch.
Yeah, we're watching the Bronco Arch. The center line seems to be the fastest line. The right line seems to be the safest line, although it sets you up a little high for what we've dubbed turn 19. We watched the Herbst T1 truck get upside down there twice during the T1 race. That's its new name. And we're watching Cameron Steele come through on the big sweeping turn.
And I think Brandon Sims is out on course now. Supposed to be Sarah Price, but I heard she crashed pretty hard on the qualifying course this morning. Hopefully she's get stuff back
Looks
together.
Like Cameron is 11th, so not top 10, but top 15 like we assumed. And yes, this is Brandon Sims. Certainly hope Sarah's feeling better. She kind of drew the short stick and had to go out and do the T1 race last minute.
Well, I don't know if you called that a short stick.
No, I don't think
so.
Here,
come race my truck.
Here, come race my whiskey-sponsored trophy, whiskey-sponsored T1 truck. I'm in.
A lot of people would kill for that.
Fill up the cup holders and let's go have some fun. But here we're watching Brandon. Let's see which direction he goes here. He looks like he might be taking that left line.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Brandon has been on the podium here several times, never won the race. A while back, he was called Queen of the Hammers.
Queen of the Hammers.
He couldn't pull off the first place king position.
All right, so it looks like he is. He's about the same boat as Cameron, about 10 seconds off lead pace as he comes down the backside.
Well, and after you gotta wonder if these guys down the starting line are kind of watching. You got Curry and Greaves that both crashed and kind of ruined their race. They're starting way back in the pack. They might be going, well, maybe I'm going to take it easy.
Just like that.
Just
taking
like
it that easy.
All right.
Yep.
That shouldn't have been a hard part, though. Maybe
well,
just
but
hanging
like we
it
said, everything's just getting tore up out there as more and more cars go.
So So this is Travis Zollinger from ZRP. He's racing a single-seat Can-Am Maverick X3. Full custom. They call it the Billet Monster.
As we're watching Brandon Sims come in, definitely going to be a probably top 15 maybe. 13th place. There we go.
Travis raced the desert on Saturday in a, I think it was a single-seat Polaris. So now he's got another single-seat Can-Am, so it's kind of interesting. He raced a single-seat RS1 last year at King of the Hammers and finished. Pretty tough race to race solo.
Oh, definitely, and even more so this year, as we talked about how important the rock trails are going to be this year for these guys. This is a year that you get in the rocks so fast with a lot of traffic, not having someone to pull winch cable for you might make the difference between even just finishing this race.
Absolutely, and I think there were 3 RS1 single-seaters last year that actually finished the race, so that's pretty cool. So it's awesome to see, although that's a fully custom car, that's pretty neat to see him build a single-seater and go out there and compete with it.
Well, you said it earlier when we were talking about this, John, we were talking about the weight savings. You take half the car away, and you save a bunch of weight.
Well, there's your co-dog is 200 pounds, and then the seat
co-dog away, yep.
and a little bit of
tubing there. And, yep, some floor.
Whoa!
Oh, get a little excited there. Yep, coming through the Bronco arch.
I think Jacob Versi's off the line now. Scott Lesage, maybe. We've got our order mixed up here.
All right, as Travis Zollinger comes back into town with a 2:25, 15th position. And Scott Lesage is out on course right now. Good run so far, good and fast. We're watching Scott Lesage come through. He's on good pace right now, but he's probably, just like everyone else, probably about 10 seconds off the leader.
Smooth, but not top qualifier. So we're getting whispers in our ear that that's actually a supercharged Razor, which would be a full custom setup.
Yeah, the difference between the supercharger and the turbocharger being the turbocharger uses the exhaust gas to spin a turbine, compress that air ratio or air mixture before it's forced into the cylinder. The supercharger would have some type of belt. The biggest difference in driving would be the supercharger builds its power a lot faster down low. Turbocharger, you gotta spool it up just a little bit. Sometimes it takes a little bit for that engine to get a little bit of RPMs before you start seeing the power.
And we got Jacob Versi off the line.
Jacob Versi's headed towards the crowd.
He went the wrong
way.
He
wanted to grab some Dang Bros pizza is what he wanted. He was like, oh, there's pizza over there. I'm going to go over there. This is exactly what we talked about, though. The dust is just hanging in the air out there. That's just bad luck for him out here in Power Hour. Get offline that early. That is not going to be a finish that he will be happy with. Probably was hoping to be in top 20, but it's going to be hard to get back up there, losing that much time in the desert. The hard part here will be, does he realize he made his mistake, just decide, I'm just going to lay up a little bit and just get the car back, or do you push it so hard that you try to make up the time?
Line.
But I think the safe line, that safe line's getting less and less safe. Every time you call that line the safe line, John, someone almost rolls on it. So
we'll call it the bicycle line.
We'll call it the exciting line.
Well, that rut's getting deeper and deeper, and you were off camera before, and now it's worse.
Yeah, I think Jacob's pushing pretty hard to make up for his mistake early on. Looks like he's got some good speed coming in. Is about 15 seconds off.
Yeah, but he's off the line.
He completely blew that corner.
Blew the corner.
He's got to come back in and get back on the course. Yeah, he's a good 15 to 20 seconds off our current pole position leader.
And again, huge benefit to starting way up front. If you're anywhere past 15, I don't think you can win this race. That's Bailey Cole in a Honda Talon. I ran into Bailey out pre-running.
That's what the professionals do, they pro-run.
He was getting ready to go down outer limits, and I told him it was a cluster. There was all kinds of people coming up and down at the same time. I think he was still going to try it, though.
Well, it's important to get out there, get the seat time in the car. You can see Bailey's out here. This is a good time so far based on this first turn. You know, if you get it past there on the 40-second mark, that's a good spot to be in. He's going to come up across the top. Ooh, big little nose dive right there. That slowed him down a little bit before these drops.
So this is a Honda Talon. This has gears in the transmission, not a CVT belt.
Yeah, an actual shiftable transmission.
With low range.
With an additional transfer case, or as Jim would call it, transfer box. And it looks like he's taking that left line.
He's taking the bicycle line.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this has an add-on turbo to it. I would guess it would. Anybody out there in the crowd know if it does or not?
All right,
stock
everyone's yelling
NA.
as stock naturally aspirated, no turbo.
Thank
I know
you,
last year we had
crowd.
a couple of the Honda cars out here with a turbo on it. All right, Bailey, you can see that corner is just so worn out from everyone coming down so fast. And there goes Bailey around the bottom, and he's headed up through the Bronco Arch here shortly.
Shannon Campbell's up next.
Shannon Campbell in his Wonder Woman racer.
The Lexon.
I call it that because it's
Lexan.
invisible, like
It
Wonder
is.
Woman's plane.
So Shannon won in 2017 for the UTV race.
Yep, former king of the hammers in the 4400 class.
Couple times.
Couple wins under his belt there, yep. Oh, that's not a good thing to see.
Whoa, and
That is
he's
not good at all.
Hot.
That is some of those, they let the fire out of the engine. So that is not good. See if anyone sees that and stops him. Or if he's going to throw some sand on it like that and put it out. That's another way to do it. But I don't think it's still running. I think it's still running, yep. Maybe down on some power, but I think Shannon is so skilled that he felt that, splashed a little dirt up on it to put that fire out, then just kept going. He's definitely off his pace, so I think he's lost a little bit of power from the looks of it.
So that's the side of where the exhaust is out, and the turbo is tucked in around behind the seats.
Yeah, lots of speculation. Could have been an oil line, a little bit of oil, maybe. Certainly not fuel, or it would not be out. Would still be burning. He's making good time, though, even though he had that little excitement for us. Yep. But I do firmly believe that he knew that was happening. Threw that sideways, got a little bit of sand up in there. Fastest way to put out a fire. Throw sand on it. Do not have a timer running on him in our screen quite yet.
Brock Hager is next.
But he's coming through the Bronco Arch very quickly.
Brock Hager last year qualified 6th. He's a short course guy that knows how to throw it down. He's in a Yamaha YXZ with an added turbo on that.
Had someone just call out from the crowd, want to know where Bailey Cole was. He's currently sitting in 37th position. As Shannon comes across the line with 225, sitting in 16th.
16th, not bad for
being on
being
fire.
lit on fire.
Yeah, not bad for Ricky Bobby in that.
So Brock is moving.
Yeah, Brock looks like he's laying down a very, very fast time here. It's another one of these cars with an actual selectable transmission in it.
Which, that's a lot of work in this kind of a scenario.
Looks like he's taking that left-hand side. So we just saw Shannon on as well. Don't have a ticker on him, so I can't give you my unofficial split time yet.
I'm going to say he's not Ronnie Anderson pace.
No, it's that downhill spot right there where we see all of our leaders pick up a lot of speed.
Cole Clark, I should say. I forgot Cole is our new leader.
Yeah, currently sitting on the pole is Cole Clark with a 209. Ronnie Anderson behind him with a 212. Mitch Guthrie, 215. Jamie McCoy, 216. And then Paul Wolf with a 218 that he laid down very early today. Not many cars left here in Power Hour. I don't think we're going to see that minute 45 that we were hoping to.
I'm still hopeful we're going to break 2 minute.
It'd be nice to see a break of a 2 minute, but that's a lot. That's 9 seconds.
And I think Ronnie Anderson is out on course now. First time for Ronnie ever racing this. Another real fast guy. I don't know how he'll do in the rocks, but right here, he should do well. His brother Ronnie is sitting in 2nd currently.
We're watching RJ Anderson come through here. He looks to be at a 40-second spot right there. That's very fast compared to the other drivers we've seen. We have these unofficial split times that I have marked down on this paper, but he's eating up some rocks there. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. To be a pole position, you have to be across the top of that flat section at 106, which I don't think we're going to see. That's our B1 class winner from yesterday's.
I was just going to ask. I heard he raced yesterday, but I didn't know what.
Yep, B1 class. A little bit smaller buggy today than yesterday. Coming down in here. It's fast, but I don't think it's fast enough to be a new pole position. Because his little jump here, about 3 to 4 seconds off. Definitely top 10, may unseat someone in the top 5. He comes in faster than 216.
Fast coming down through the Bronco Arch.
That's one of the...
And then Phil Blurton's off the line. Phil, last 2 years, has got 3rd place.
All right, we're watching RJ come through the big sweeping corner. Miles likes to call that the Talladega turn. He's a NASCAR fan.
Phil qualified 8th last year.
Here he comes through the 2. He's probably going to go through 215, 216, which, as we assumed, will put him in that top 5. Sorry, just outside the top 5 by 0.7 seconds.
So Phil's fresh off a Baja 1000 win back in November. First, he's a Baja rookie, and he got the championship and the Baja 1000.
Looks like he's taking that line that we've seen people make good time on. If he goes past that rock at the top under 106, he could take a pole. Oh, it's going to be close. We'll see how much time he makes up on the downhill side here. This is where Cole Clark just threw his UTV off the top of that. Round the corner.
Smooth run so far.
Yeah, very well handled corner right there. That's fast. We could be looking at a new pole position right here All depends how he handles the arch and the infamous turn 19.
Got that center line?
No,
Well,
he
no,
went
he
wide.
went right.
He went wide on that one.
Yeah, so I think he scrubbed off a little bit. And then CJ Greaves is off. CJ and his dad just switched to Polaris this year.
Still waiting to see what Phil Burton's time is. We'll see if he comes in. He's got to beat a 2:09. Don't think he's going to do it. 2:10, second place.
Nice run.
Very fast, but not
Wow.
fast enough to take the pole away. But he is in second place. CJ Greaves up here now.
It's pretty good, though, because last year Ronnie Anderson beat him. So he's not a short course guy, but that's a respectable second place right there.
Another good time right here with CJ.
CJ's always fast here.
And there in your picture-in-picture, that in-car camera. He's taking that long way around.
So this isn't CJ's first time here. He's raced it several times. It's just his first time in a Polaris.
He's coming down the rocks. I don't think he's going to put any pressure on our current leaders. About 5-6 seconds off.
We haven't got to the short course part yet, though.
This is true.
He's pretty fast in the short course. I don't know if it's enough to make up for it, though.
He's going to have to make up probably 6 seconds if he wants to get in that top 4 positions.
Cody Miller is next off the line.
Oh, turn 19 almost got him. He saved it. That's where that short course skill came in. You called it right there, John. You said, watch out for the short course. Well, turn 19 almost shut him down.
All right, so Cody Miller is out on course now. He
TJ's gonna come in
qualified
with about a
12th last year.
2:19. That's 11th place.
Cody got second place last year in the race, and again, he qualified 12th. He was pretty disappointed in his qualifying run last year.
You can just see how much dust is
Yeah,
hanging.
that
That's got to
dust
be
is
very
thick.
hard to drive through. It's hard to see. And I just heard in my ear that he's also going to race this car on Saturday in the. He's trying a whole new line.
Middle line there, wow.
That's a new line we've seen, and he's about a second off pace for our pole position, but he can make up a little bit of time here on the downhill slope, and probably a little bit of time up in the desert as well.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, Cody is one of 3 guys racing their UTVs in the 4400 race on Saturday. He's done it twice already. This will be his 3rd year. Crazy.
Yeah, it's always amazing to see them go out. They race the UTV race, and they go and band-aid it back together and head out there with the 4400 cars. Oh, losing a little bit of time here coming through the Bronco Arch. Make quick work of turn 19. And I believe that's Hunter who just passed him and went out.
So Hunter won in 2020, broke in 2021.
Third place for Cody as he comes in with 2:11.
Last year, Hunter qualified 4th.
We're watching Hunter Miller right now on course. He's
looking fast.
Looking fast. Similar pace to Cody. The only issue we saw with Cody was looked like Cody lost a little bit of time coming through the Bronco Arch, and he had messed around a little bit on the rock climb. But we're watching Hunter head into that section. Whoa. Looks like he's taking that far right line and making quick work of it.
Couple seconds off the fastest pace
Yeah,
right there,
a couple
though.
seconds right there. You need to come by that big rock at a 106 if you're going to be coming into our top 3 positions. Cody went by it at about a 108. So Hunter's right on pace with him.
Wow.
We'll see if he can make up. We did see Cody lose a little bit of time at the Bronco Arch. Just picking his line. Looked like he came up, checked up. Wasn't sure if he wanted to go center or left, and he actually stopped here, but it looks like
left.
Yeah, it looks like he took that far left and didn't slow down to do it. So he's going to come in. It's going to be close between Cody and Hunter.
And Kyle Cheney's off the line. Last year's winner. Year before that, he got second.
All right, we're watching Hunter Miller come in, doing the big Talladega turn, as Miles likes to call it, and he's going to come through the Yukon launch, and we'll see where he ends up. He might be top 3. Fourth. Oh, it was close. So close. 10th of a second. So Cody Miller came in 211.757. Hunter Miller came in at 211.766.
Kyle Cheney qualified 7th last year. Won the race. Then went on for the 4,400 race and got 11th.
Yep, came in. It was very impressive to see him take that car out there.
And he won the desert race last year.
And here he comes in, and he's taking the... Nope.
Ooh,
he's looking for that Casey Curry line, unfortunately. Had lost a little bit of time there. I think he took a little bit of bounce. That was not the line he was planning.
Little bounce, and he got off to the right a little bit.
Yep. But this is where he can make up a little bit of time coming down here if you just huck it off the bottom of this. We'll just say he did.
Yeah.
Round over the jump at the 130 mark, which is right on pace for top 5. It'll be hard to move Cole Clark out of that number 1 position.
And this might be Sarah Price off the line last. I'm not sure. We don't have her on our list
Kyle
at
Cheney
that point.
Come through.
78 is Sarah Price. We just got word whispered in ours, so good news. She got her car back together.
7th place for Kyle Cheney. Sarah Price was only planning to come out here and race the UTV, but she got tapped to take over a T1 truck yesterday. And now she's back out here. She had a little bit of an incident pre-running the car. Got it back together and came out here to qualify.
So I bet you she's going to take the safer line just based upon what happened this morning.
Yeah, I
if
heard
she doesn't, that's like, woo,
she
you
does
got
it
some
good
guts.
for her. Yep. Well, but sometimes you just got to get back on that horse.
Oh, yeah, but that's I couldn't do it. Let's see what she does here.
Yeah, you called it, John.
Safe line.
Yep. Taking that safe far left line.
Don't blame her.
For everyone at home who doesn't know, what we're being told is out pre-running earlier on the far right line on the rock. The car went over backwards, rolled down, did some damage to it. That's why she wasn't lined up in her original qualifying spot. They had to get the car back together. She was okay, and that's all that matters. Can always build another car.
I don't think she's on a top 10 pace.
I think if she's lucky, she'll come in top 25 based on what we're seeing right now.
Some of this drone footage is spectacular.
Come up through the Bronco Arch. Back down into Hammertown here in Johnson Valley, California. Comes through turn 19 into the big long sweeper. She'll head up over the Yukon launch, and that will be the end of Sarah's qualifying run. We'll see where she lands. I'm thinking top 20, top 25, somewhere in there. '37th, I was way off.
Whew.
That shows you how tight everyone is up in that top 20, top 30 group for coming 37th. And I think that wraps it up. But Jim's got a little bit of information for us. Jim, what do you got?
Okay, I'm up here on stage now. We've just watched an absolutely fantastic power hour with the UTVs here at the 2022 King of the Hammers. But on stage with me now is Carl Cheney, who was last year's winner. Now, Carl, we just watched you out there. What was the course like?
It was super tough. I ended up getting a flat. I'm not sure how we did, but there on the short course, the track, the car was handling pretty bad with a flat. But the course was nasty, that's for sure. I can't wait to get out there and race Thursday.
Now, obviously, we saw you take home the big trophy last year. Got any plans for this year?
We're just going to try to do it again, that's for sure. It's going to be a dusty one out there.
Now, are you going to be working together as a team, or are you going to be hanging it out there all on your own?
I mean, you know, us Can-Am guys, we do work together, but you're definitely solo for sure. I mean, we're all wanting to win.
Fantastic. Well, the best of luck for the main race this week on Thursday, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, what a fantastic power hour. I'm going to throw it back to the guys in the booth, and they're going to wrap this show up. So we'll see you very soon.
Thanks, Jim. Always great to get that live action out there. Once again, this has been qualifying for the Can-Am UTV Hammers Championship presented by Progressive Insurance. Had a great day of qualifying. Lots of cars out there, lots of action, and the big race is yet to come.
Thursday.
And
it's a tough course. Lots of rocks. Toughest course ever, in my opinion.
John called it toughest course ever.
And I love it. Bring it on.
All right, let's take a look at what we've got for our leaders right now. So sitting on our pole position, Cole Clark, followed by Phil Blurton, then Cody Miller.
Wow. And Hunter Miller, Ronnie Anderson, Brock Hager, Kyle Cheney, Mitch Guthrie, Jamie McCoy, RJ Anderson. Man.
That rounds out our
stacked.
Yes, rounds out our top 10, and not a lot. 5 seconds, but five seconds between that entire group from 1 through 10. That says a lot right there. A lot of guys.
I think your math is off.
209 to 216, 7 seconds. 5-ish 7. 7 is I round down when it comes to racing. That's why I always win. So that's all we have for right now. Don't forget to come back. The shootout is tonight, the Holly EFI shootout, presented by King Shocks and Action Sports Canopies. You see we have the rest of our leaderboard here. We have Paul Wolf in 11th, Dustin Jones in 12th, Michael Park 13th, CJ Greaves in 14th, Josh Smith 15th, Mark Welch 16th, Adam Kinnett in 17th, Cameron Steele 18th, Bryce Menzies 19th, and Brandon Sims in 20th.
I think everybody's getting ready for the shootout now.
You can see the action here on the wide shot. You can see all the action here on the wide shot. Everyone headed out to the location for the shootout tonight here in Johnson Valley. You going to go over there and watch it in the cold? Johnny, you going to watch it from the live stream in the warmth of your trailer?
I'll probably do that. Live stream is where it's at. All right.
All right. Once again, I'm Ian Johnson. Here with me in the booth is John Crowley. John, it's been a great day here with you.
Excellent. Fun stuff.
All right, guys. We will see you later tonight for the Holly EFI Shootout, presented by King Shocks and Action Sports Canopy. And then tomorrow is 4-Wheel Parts Everyman Challenge qualifying, I believe. So it's going to be an exciting day.
Race technology, proudly made in the USA. unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks, the leader in off-road shock technology.
Let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Bronco, an American classic, returns. And it only gets better when it's outfitted with the right gear. From bumpers to winches, rigging accessories, suspensions, body armor, and wheels. You need a full array of gear to outfit your Bronco for adventure. Get them now at warn.com.
The all-new 2021 Ford F-150 is available with 7.2 kilowatts of electrical power. In case you ever need your truck to power your kitchen.